Today contributor reporting from Bandung, West Java.
Oh my, all these stories are making me hungry.
I know. I don't know what is the motive of our producer. Hello there, early in the morning, giving us, news and highlights about foods.
We have porridge, we have ribs.
And now, probably viewers at home are thinking of what they're going to cook today.
Or order.
Probably. Ideas. Order, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Maybe it's to give an insight or another idea of, because since it's Saturday, you don't know where to go.
It's Sunday. It's Sunday. We're almost ending the weekend.
You don't know where to go.
With the weather,
right?
gloomy weather,
There
perfect
you go.
to eat.
Yeah.
You can go to Bandung.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
we know.
Go to Bandung. Or go to Labuan Bajo. There's a restaurant in Labuan Bajo. So this story is going to make me starving. Labuan Bajo of East Nusa Tenggara has combined a traditional dish called beef sei or sei sapi with Western delights such as pizzas and pasta.
Yes, making us hungry, where this fusion yields a delicious combo that is loved by many.
A lot of people from outside the country, like foreign tourists, they love sei because they say the flavor is so special.
This restaurant is called Green Cherry, located on Soekarno-Hatta Road, Labuan Bajo, East Nusa Tenggara. Green Cherry serves a combination of traditional food, namely say beef, with pizza and pasta. For pizza, pieces of sei meat are sprinkled on the dough and mixed with cheese and sauce. After that, pizza with sei topping is baked until cooked. While for the pasta menu, pieces of sei meat are sauteed with other spices first. After that, pasta that has been boiled is put into the sauteed sei. This menu is served with additional pieces of green onions and tomatoes.
Little bit. So basically, since there was a problem to bring meat into Labuan Bajo, so I cannot get any ham and bacon. So it was difficult back then. So instead of buying ham and bacon from outside, there is a traditional way that people used to make a pork smoked pork. They call it sei down here. There's a pork sei and also beef sei. So because of that, I tried to make something else out of the traditional meat that we have in this region. So I tried to make carbonara with sei sapi. I tried to make pizza, and I also tried to make other stuff with the sei as the main ingredients. And apparently people like it, and because people like it, now I don't use anything else. I'm using what I can find, ingredients, what I can find locally.
Sei itself is one of the specialties of East Nusa Tenggara. Sei comes from the Rote language, which means meat that is sliced small and elongated. The way to process it is also special. The meat to be made into sei will be smoked until cooked over coals within a certain period of time. Green Cherry Restaurant innovates with this traditional food, combining it with Western food, and successfully creates delicious food that many people like.
A lot of people from outside the country, like foreign tourists, they love sei because they say the flavor is so special. It's not like anything they can find in their country, especially the smoked pork and beef that we have. It's made out of kasambi wood. They smoked it in kasambi wood with on top of a kasambi leaf, and because of the aroma from the smell from kasambi leaf, it leaves the meat really tasty, and you still have the juice inside, but also the flavor is just special. And that's why people love sei sapi or sei babi, pork or beef. They use and they say like it's a good idea that I make sei into Western food as well. They like it.
This Sei pizza and pasta menu is one of the ways the restaurant honored to introduce typical East Nusa Tenggara food. Fortunately, this menu is in great demand by tourists, both domestic and foreign tourists. See Today contributor reporting from Labuan Bajo.
East meets West, which is a very good idea, right? So if you don't know what to cook, maybe you can cook that pasta with additional yada yada, or you can just go to the restaurant, right?
I'll choose the second option, please.
Of course.
I'll
Well,
go to the restaurant.
traveling as well, and then learning from the best, right? Learning from the
Of course.
pro, and then afterwards we can cook it.
I would like that, right? Okay, guys. So it is 6:15 already, time in the studio. Here we are going to go for our very short break, the first break. So we still have more news from around Indonesia when we return. So keep it here only on the C More Nation right here on C Today.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir, dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Kenapa sih dia selalu mau eksis kalau aku syuting? Ijo sama yang merah ini tuh rumah pribumi, jadi aku taruh di dalam, makanya rasanya lebih welcome gitu. Modern banget. Dia tuh sempit banget kalau ceilingnya pendek. Menurut aku ya, kita belum ngerasa memiliki kalau belum ada sejarahnya.
Gue yang penting apa yang gue makan bisa gue buang pada saat gue olahraga, gitu.
Jadi ambillah kalau ketemu mungkin dia ketawa.
Dengan proses, gue bersyukur banget Kubu Junior tuh sempat bubar tahun 2016-2017.
Feelingnya sabu-sabu, karena sabu-sabu kita cuma makannya setahun sekali.
Kalau kita dengerin Spotify ya, Pak gimana sih caranya aku bisa masuk di sini gitu. Ya nggak boleh menghalangi lah. Bukit sampai elevasi gue hari itu nyentuh 4.000-an lah.
I kinda wanna die.
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 keranjang.
Welcome back to the C Morning Show. Now it is time for news and events that are happening around Indonesia. Billions were lost following a massive fire that engulfed 3 buildings in Padang on Saturday.
11 fire trucks and 60 firefighters were deployed to contain the blaze in East Padang district. The amount of flammable materials in the buildings complicated the firefighting efforts.
Witnesses told authorities that the fire started at a hardware store before spreading to a nearby home and youth center. Now, there are no casualties in the incident, which is now under police investigation.
Yang terbakar adalah 1 buah truk kontak, ditambah 1 buah balai pemuda, dan 1 petak rumah kontrakan. Sejumlah unit ada 11 unit karena apinya cukup besar dan untuk pemadaman cukup berlangsung lama karena material terbakar adalah material cat atau thinner, jadi agak lama untuk proses pendinginannya. Dugaan belum diketahui ya, cuma dari keterangan masyarakat sumber api itu berasal dari toko bangunan.
From Padang, now we have news from Tangerang, where disaster responders have evacuated thousands after flood hit Teluk Naga district of Tangerang Regency yesterday.
Now, they include a pregnant woman who was rushed to a hospital on an inflatable raft to give birth.
Disaster responders have moved to evacuate residents in Teluk Naga district, Tangerang Regency, after flood hit the area on Saturday. They include a woman who was about to give birth and had to be rushed to hospital on an inflatable raft. Water levels rose to around 60 centimeters following a downpour that began on Friday. Officials have also deployed a pump to help bring water levels down.
Mengalir di sini kendalanya ini saluran air. Aturan kan dari masyarakat ini kan ke bawah tuh turun. Ya malah dari kali itu ke kampung nanjak. Jadi itu harus menggunakan pompa.
Jembung
jadi
gitu
setiap ya betul jembung. Jadi setiap mau penyedotan itu harus pakai pompa, menggunakan pompa.
Kalau nggak begitu, Pak?
Kalau nggak begitu nggak bisa. Harus ngeluarin pompa. Baru 1. Itu yang udah ada di sini. Cuman tadi udah informasi ke Pak Lurah, insya Allah mungkin hari ini bisa turun dikirim untuk 1 pompa lagi. Karena kalau menggunakan 1 pompa kayaknya lambat. Iya, kurang.
There are 800 households that have been affected. Some residents remain at their homes, but most have taken refuge elsewhere. See Today contributor reporting from Tangerang Regency, Banten.
Medan Zoo has just lost another Sumatran tiger. Now this is the 5th that has happened in just 3 months.
The tiger, 13-year-old Bintang Sorik, died last Tuesday from a terminal illness.
Mayor Bobby Nasution has spoken on the animal's death, saying that it involved many factors outside the zoo management's shortcomings. Now, he also criticized the zoo for failing to implement a breeding program.
Bisa sama-sama kita lihat semua faktornya, umur, pola pakannya, pola perawatannya. Nah, ini juga harus bisa dijadikan salah satu faktor-faktor kenapa penyebab dia mati. Ya itu saya bilang, manajemennya. Kan kita sudah sampaikan kemarin, opsi-opsi relokasi juga sudah kita sampaikan. Kemarin saya sampaikan itu akan dibongkar, sudah dimulai. Cuma relokasinya ini, makanya tadi saya bilang nanti kita relokasi di perjalanan, pas relokasi hewannya mati, mau dibilang nggak ini lagi, makanya kita lihat relokasi kemana. Apakah tetap di situ, tapi dipindahkan kandangnya, apakah bisa jadi relokasi, jaraknya berapa jauh maksimal, ini perlu perhitungan, jangan main, ini yang penting viral, yang penting ada aksi enggak.
And next, we have updates regarding our general elections this year, where ensuring that polls are running without problems is no easy task and has even caused casualties.
The elections earlier this week was no exception, with hundreds of officials having been hospitalized and some have died.
Ensuring that polls run smoothly is the duty of election officers. The task is not easy, with very real risk. This year's elections, which took place recently, was no exception, with hundreds having been hospitalized from exhaustion and some have died. Jajang Sufa, chief official at the polling station number 18 in Bandung City, was one of those who lost their lives. He passed away on Friday following vote counting duties. His funeral took place the following day. His son told the press that Jajang likely died from exhaustion. He was also known to be unwell 2 days before the polls. Some 348 officials have also received treatment for various conditions.
Berjasa ke masyarakat terkait dengan keluarga-keluarganya, tanggung jawabnya ya besar, terus aktif lah di masyarakatnya.
Siap. Itu saat jadi petugas KPP sendiri pernah mengeluh sakit atau apa?
Lagi sakit. Lagi sakit, terus dianya gimana ya Pak? Gara-gara tanggung jawab kan, jadi sebagai ketua, jadi mau gimana lagi dia ke pos, terus balik lagi ke rumah buat istirahat, terus sampai beres.
Meanwhile, hundreds of officials have been hospitalized in North Sumatra as well, with 2 deaths in Medan and Langkat Regency. As of February the 16th, 266 officials are still receiving treatment. They are suffering from various conditions, including difficulty breathing, hypertension, and stomach problems.
Di mana beberapa penyakit bagi petugas kita ini ya, yang pasti kebanyakan adalah kelelahan dan juga ada juga hipertensi ya, dan juga ada juga dispepsia ataupun dengan sakit perut, di mana kita ketahui kelelahan dari tengah malam penghitungan angka jumlah pemilih kita ini kan, jadi mungkin sakit perut dikarenakan mungkin kelelahan, makan tidak teratur sehingga mereka menjadi lemah dan dilarikan ke rumah sakit. Nah, juga beberapa yang paling banyak di sini adalah hipertensi ya, karena kita lihat juga jam mereka yang memang benar-benar dari pagi sampai malam yang tidak tidur, sehingga yang hipertensi dan sakit kepala. Jadi itulah beberapa penyakit yang banyak terjadi pada petugas kita di KPPS, KPU dan juga Bawaslu.
Their treatment has also been paid for by provincial and city governments.
Authorities faced harsh conditions at sea to transport the election logistics to Bakung Serumpun Lingga sub-district.
The 1-hour journey amidst large waves was challenging.
The polling organizers in Bakun Serumpun sub-district had to return the voting boxes via sea transport using a boat. With the police and members of the election watchdog closely supervising, the journey took about an hour from the village of Tanjung Lipat Lingga to the logistic warehouse. However, when sailing with rough waves and strong winds, the team faced difficulty. They used tarps to cover the boxes and hold them tightly to avoid getting wet. Second Inspector Assistant of Lingga District Police, Muhammad Yusuf, affirmed that the general election proceeded smoothly and safely.
Seluruh kawan-kawan yang paham semangat, kami dirjai khususnya di Tanjung Lipat mengamankan pemilu 2024 dengan aman dan lancar. Masyarakat juga mendukung penuh dalam pelaksanaan pemilu. Terima kasih.
Meanwhile, in mainland areas like Singkep, during the voting process, police officers and members of the election watchdog held voters with mobility issue by escorting them from outside the voting booth to the pickup vehicle. See Today contributor reporting from Batam, Riau.
And we'll be taking a quick break, but after the break, we'll have Ralphie set to bring you some sports updates. So, Ralphie, what do you have for us today from the world of sports?
Yes, we have some updates from the English Premier League and also from the WTA Qatar Open. All of that and more to come when we return on the C Morning Show on C Today. Hang tight.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar, dia itu bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
The Indonesian State-Owned Enterprises Ministry has underlined its commitment to supporting small and medium enterprises by launching vending machines at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport.
Qatar has advanced to the quarterfinals of the 2023 AFC Asian Cup after defeating Palestine 2-1 in the round of 16 at the Al Ayed Stadium in Al Khor.
So we'll be back with the daily dose of entertainment. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
The China Earthquake Network Center reported that the quake rocked the Erterpen County in Aksu Prefecture shortly after 2 a.m. local time.
Minister January Makamba was a guest in one of our news programs, a 3-hour news show yesterday. While he was in the studio, he used the opportunity to explain the current state of diplomatic ties between Tanzania and Indonesia.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Bahwa Raspati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on Indonesia!
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 ranjang.
Welcome back to the C Morning Show here on C Today. Now it is time for sports. We begin in England where Mohamed Salah scored and provided an assist on his return from an injury as Liverpool kept their foot on the throttle in the Premier League title race with a 4-1 win at Brentford on Saturday. Darwin Núñez scored with an exquisite chip to open the scoring, bursting through on goal before deftly lifting the ball over a helpless Mark Flecken in the Brentford net. Goals after the break from Alexis McAllister and Salah effectively ended the contest. It is the first time Jurgen Klopp has won away at Brentford, and Ivan Toney pulled one back in the 75th minute, firing home on the rebound after Sergio Reguilón's shot was superbly saved by Kellers, but it proved little more than a consolation as Liverpool ensured there would be no late drama when Gakpo added the 4th in the 86th minute. Now the victory solidifies Liverpool as the league leaders with 57 points. Arsenal are in 2nd place and Manchester City are in 3rd place. Meanwhile, Brentford stayed in the 14th with only 25 points. We move on to another team, but now a quick update because Mohamed Salah's returned, but 3 players are out because Jones and Jota were withdrawn during the first half, while Darwin Núñez were replaced at the interval. And now all will undergo further assessments with the club's medical team. Now we move on to another team from the EPL, which is Arsenal, who won 5-0 away at Burnley's Turf Moor Stadium in the 25th week of the Premier League on Saturday. Playing as the away team, Arsenal were dominant throughout the match. The Gunners led 2-0 in the first half through Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. Mikel Arteta's team kept on the pressure after the break and extended their lead through Saka, Leandro Trossard, and also Kai Havertz. Their victory makes Arsenal move up to second place in the Premier League standings with 55 points, 2 points adrift from leaders Liverpool. Meanwhile, Burnley were stuck in 19th place with only 13 points. We now move on to Spain, where Jude Bellingham was absent from the main team training for Real Madrid as they were prepared for the La Liga match against Rayo Vallecano on Sunday. According to Real Madrid, Bellingham and Antonio Rudiger are still recovering from their injuries. Now, Bellingham, one of Madrid's best players, this season sprained his left ankle in the team's 4-0 win over Girona last Saturday. The England international is expected to be silent for 2 to 3 weeks, and Ancelotti had already lost key players even before the season started. With goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois and defender Eder Militao sustaining knee ligament injuries, and central defender David Alaba also hurt knee ligament last year, and most recently it was Rudiger who depelled the Madrid defense. The club decided not to bring in another central defender during the latest transfer window that closed in January, forcing Ancelotti to improvise in the middle of the defense with either midfielder Aurelien Tchouameni or right back Dani Carvajal. Liga Indonesia Baru is planning to introduce a video assistant referee VAR to the championship of Liga 1. A trial for the technology took place in Bogor Regency yesterday. The trial at JSE Resort saw referees testing equipment to review decisions and communicate with the results. Testing has been ongoing since this past month, and 13 referees, also 26 assistants, have been picked by Football Federation, or PSSI, to be assessed by FIFA this March.
Akan hadir antara tanggal 1 dan tanggal 8 Maret ke sini untuk melihat training terakhir daripada kesiapan di batch 1 ini untuk menentukan trialnya seperti apa, kompetisinya di mana yang akan kita trial, nanti lebih lanjutnya mungkin Liga akan menyampaikan lebih lanjut.
Now we move on to the world of tennis, where Iga Swiatek won the WTA 1000 Qatar Open for the 3rd year in a row on Saturday with a hard-fought 7-6, 6-2 win over Elena Rybakina, her 12th consecutive match win at the Doha event.
Iga Swiatek won the WTA 1000 Qatar Open for the 3rd year in a row on Saturday with a hard-fought 7-6, 7-2 win over Elena Rybakina. The Polish top seed and the world #1 had to call upon all of her grit and resilience in an epic first set that took almost an hour and a half. Swiatek recovered from so many difficult positions, it was hard to keep count. She went a double breakdown and fought back to 5-4 before losing her serve again. Kazakh #3 seed Rybakina served for the set at 6-5, but Swiatek again stood firm to force a tiebreak. There were no fewer than 11 points against the serve in the breaker, and Swiatek wasted 2 set points before Rybakina squandered on her own at 7-6. Eventually, Swiatek took it by 10 points to 8 on her 4th set point. After saving 2 break points in the second game of the second set, Swiatek broke serve for a 2-1 lead, and when a second break arrived in the 7th game, there was no way back for Rybakina. Swiatek served out to 15 to take the match and the championship after 2 hours and 17 minutes. It was the first title of the year for Swiatek and the 18th of her career.
And that's it from the world of tennis. I just want to add something from the world of basketball. Today, if you are a fan of the NBA, the All-Star Weekend is happening as of right now. You can see the Kia Skills Challenge, Starry 3-point contest, Stephen Curry versus Sabrina 3-point challenge, and also the AT&T Slam Dunk contest starting from 8 a.m. Now let's take another short break, and after the break, Rahma and Sarah will be back with some entertainment updates just for you here on the C Morning Show on C Today.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
And we have more business updates right here from our nation, where the Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturers, or GAIKINDO, reported that over 1 million vehicles were sold in Indonesia last year.
The Indonesian government has announced plans to allocate around 4.8 billion rupiahs for this year's pre-employment program.
Now, the program aims to help boost economic recovery, especially for those affected by COVID-related layoffs.
The Indonesian government is once again providing food aid in the form of rice reserves to support the public amid higher prices of the commodity in the market.
Stok bulog sekarang ini alhamdulillah masih pada posisi yang baik. Masih 1,4 juta ton.
China has been racing against time for rescue and disaster relief work after a landslide on Monday struck a mountainous village in southwest China's Yunnan province.
Gue yang penting apa yang gue makan bisa gue buang pada saat gue olahraga. Gitu.
Jadi Adila kalau ketemu mungkin dia ketawa.
Dengan proses, gue bersyukur banget Kubu Junior tuh sempat bubar tahun 2016-2017.
Feelingnya sabu-sabu, karena sabu-sabu kita cuma makannya setahun sekali.
Kalau kita dengerin Spotify, Pak gimana sih caranya aku bisa masuk di sini gitu. Ya nggak boleh menghalangi lah.
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 ranjang.
Welcome back to the C Morning Show right here on C Today. Okay, some entertainment news for you guys. Madame Web star Dakota Johnson has revealed some drastic changes to the film, which dropped on February the 14th, right on Valentine's Day.
Yes, Rahma, and the 34-year-old actress explained how the script was altered completely once she has signed up for the flick. And Johnson's alter ego, Cassie Webb, is a New York City paramedic who developed psychic abilities. The role provided her a chance to perform stunt driving, something she was excited to do.
Oh, okay. So the character's ability to see the future spelled an increased workload for Johnson, as she needed to film several versions of the same scene. Now that included so many different camera setups, tripling the amount of work, of course. Now the 50 Shades of Grey explained that she often found it challenging to keep up with what she had to be shooting and had to rely on directors S.J. Clarkson to bail her out. Oh, that's a good one.
He's trying to change what happens. Julia, get down!
So there we go, something to look forward to probably during the weekend, especially the Marvel fans out there. But not only that, this weekend, especially this Sunday, this year's edition of Britain's most prestigious film celebration, the BAFTA Awards, will take place at London's Royal Festival Hall.
Now, featuring a new host, 2 special live musical performances, and a star-studded red carpet brimming with celebrities, the 2024 BAFTA Awards promises a night filled with glamour and also surprises.
Prince William has been confirmed to be attending, along with names like Cillian Murphy, Christopher Nolan, and Margot Robbie.
A total of 38 films are vying for awards, with Christopher Nolan's sweeping biopic chronologizing the life of J. Robert Oppenheimer. Now, the creator of the atomic bomb, leading the nominations with 13 nods.
The public can also access this event on BBC One and iPlayer and on BritBox in North America. And from Indonesia, Indonesian singer Ziva Magnolia has recently released her new single titled Wanita Biasa. So let's take a look.
Sadarkah dirimu selama ini berjanji.
Ziva Magnolia released another heartbreak anthem with the new song Wanita Biasa.
Ingatkah dirimu akan semua cara.
The pop ballad delves into the aftermath of breakup with Ziva's powerful vocals narrating the journey of heartbreak and her healing efforts.
Mencoba bertahan, namun ku
In the song, Ziva Magnolia described herself as an ordinary woman who also has a limit to her passions.
hanyalah wanita biasa. Sulit bagiku untuk lupa.
Although she always forgives her partner's mistakes, she also feels tired and chooses to leave. Wanita Biasa is now available on every digital music platform under Universal Music Indonesia.
Pada akhirnya cinta kini perlahan sirna.
Okay, so if you're not into that melancholic song or love songs, maybe this one is for you. Indonesian rock legend God Bless has turned 50. If you know the songs from God Bless, quite hardcore.
True. True.
I've never heard of them playing real, live performance, but I heard from my mother. So the band held a retrospective exhibition yesterday to mark the milestones, showcasing photos and a collection of vintage albums.
Celebrating 50th anniversary of the legendary rock band God Bless, the band is hosting a retrospective exhibition at Galeri Nasional, Jakarta. So this band has been one of the pioneers to the Indonesian rock development, and it has inspired so many artists in many generations. So the band is hosting this exhibition, showcasing some of their finest works through the cassette, CDs, vinyl, and many more. They also showcase their awards and the printed magazine. So here, the visitors could have an interactive experience where they can use these headphones to listen to some of the finest work of God Bless. And to know more about the process of songwriting as well as the history of God Bless itself, here is a statement by one of the God Bless member, Ian Antono.
Mungkin baru pertama kali grup Indonesia yang dibuatkan kayak begini. Jadi banyak yang ditampilkan itu kayak misalnya dari alat yang kita pakai dari zaman rekaman dulu. Terus baju-baju di mana Todes live pertama itu di Taman Ismail Marzuki juga ada di sini. Mungkin dari album yang paling bagus yang saya pernah bikin itu album yang terakhir antologi. Gimana prosesnya itu lama banget. Jadi kalau kita dulu rekaman itu 3 bulan, 2 bulan udah kelar. Kalau ini memakan waktu 1 tahun. Jadi mulai pemilihan lagu sampai aransemen musik yang direkam di Praha sana sampai mastering di Australia, ini album yang paling bagus menurut saya.
Throughout half a century, God Bless has been maintaining the spirit of the rock music in Indonesia, and the band itself has won so many different awards throughout the years, including this award right here, which was presented by President of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, for 48 years of God Bless work in 2021. So if you're interested to come see for yourself the history, the process, and the work of the pioneer to Indonesian rock band God Bless, you can come to Galeri Nasional starting from February 16 up until March 1st. Maudi Kalisha and Anita Putri for See Today.
So there you go. Galeri Nasional to witness the history of the legendary of a rock band here in Indonesia, God Bless.
God bless, that's true.
And we're now moving on to news or updates from a concert that's coming up where Ed Sheeran is all set to charm Jakarta once again with his soulful tunes and captivating stage presence in a highly anticipated concert this March.
The announcement has sent waves of excitement throughout the city, with fans eagerly counting down the days until they can actually witness the electrifying performance live on. So the anticipation is palpable as concert goers prepare to immerse themselves in an evening of sheer musical brilliance.
The promoters have announced that the Mathematics concert will be moved to Jakarta International Stadium due to the Gelora Bung Karno main stadium, which will be hosting the Indonesia-Vietnam World Cup qualifier. The move also aims to better accommodate the singer's staple 360-degree stage.
In addition, the promoters have also confirmed that the tickets bought previously are still valid, and there will be additional parking spaces and also access to transportation, which is very, very crucial.
So there we go, but we'll be having more interesting stories from all around the world after the upcoming break. So stay with us here on the C Morning Show, only on C Today.
Kind of 10 days, the priority has been getting to California and making the miles and saving our money as best we can.
We're going to ride 80 miles tomorrow. We've just ridden 70 and we're all starving.
Took the first couple of corners and felt pretty comfortable, so I thought I might get it.
So that was just too much rear brake, stalled the engine.
The end of the first day of competition.
The winner of the challenge today was Brody.
Revealed today by generations unborn when they weave their spell. The Cup of Dreams. It's football's biggest prize on the greatest stage.
Kenapa sih dia selalu mau eksis kalau aku syuting? Ijo sama yang merah ini tuh rumah pribumi. Jadi aku taruh di dalam, makanya rasanya lebih welcome gitu. Modern banget. Dia tuh sempit banget kalau ceilingnya pendek. Menurut aku ya, kita belum ngerasa memiliki kalau belum ada sejarahnya.
The Indonesian State-Owned Enterprises Ministry has underlined its commitment to supporting small and medium enterprises by launching vending machines at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport.
Qatar has advanced to the quarterfinals of the 2023 AFC Asian Cup after defeating Palestine 2-1 in the round of 16 at the Al Ayed Stadium in Al Khor.
So we'll be back with the daily dose of entertainment.
See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 ranjang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Boras Pati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on Indonesia!
Welcome back to the C Morning Show. Now it is time for world updates. First up, 8 airstrikes on different parts of central Gaza on Saturday killed more than 40 people and injured at least 50.
14 of those killed, including 4 women and 2 children, were taken to Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital in the city of Deir al-Balah, and around 30 bodies were taken to Auda Hospital in Nuseirat.
Footage captured by the Associated Press showed people gathered outside the Deir al-Balah Hospital in Al-Aqsa in central Gaza. And crowds of people prayed for those who had been killed. Now their bodies wrapped in white sheets outside the emergency room. The reports from the scene also included that of a dead baby who was held aloft by a man who angrily addressed cameras outside the hospital.
Thousands of displaced people who took shelter at Nasser Hospital in the southern city of Khan Yunis were forced to leave this week as Israeli troops stormed the largest medical facility in the southern part of the Gaza Strip.
Palestinian health officials in Khan Yunis said that 5 patients in intensive care died after their oxygen ran out following a raid by Israeli troops on Nasser Hospital.
The Israeli army has been searching the Nasser hospital complex, arresting suspected Hamas militants and searching for evidence that the remains of Israeli hostages abducted by Hamas might be there. Israel says that it does not target patients and or doctors, but staff say the facility is struggling under heavy fire and dwindling supplies, including food and water.
فجأنا الساعة 5 الفجر بالدبابات والجرافات اطلعوا من المدرسة. بعتونا واحدة باب المدرسة قالوا لنا اطلعوا كله يطلع، فأخذنا حالنا وطلعونا. قالوا ممنوع حد يتلفت هيك ولا هيك، زي ما انتوا اطلعوا ضلكوا عدل، ممنوع تتحركوا. وطلعنا من ما بطخوا ممنوع حد اي حد بيتحرك هيك بطخوه. وطبعا معنا اطفال واغراض كثير، بس اخذنا معنا حراماتنا وطلعنا. مرة صرنا حوالينا الدبابات وحوالينا جرافات وعياط الصغار خايفين من المنظر، رعب. والشهداء مسجل على الطريق، في اطلاق نار ودبابات وجرافات وممنوع حدا يتحرك، والقناصات شغاله، ممنوع حدا يفتح شباك، ممنوع حدا يوصل باب المستشفى. كان بعتونا واحد قال لنا اطلعوا، ما رضناش نطلع، خفنا وين نطلع، احنا كنا خايفين من المنظر اللي يعني نشوف المنظر اللي برا، فضلينا جوا.
القناصة سكرت على البيبان، ممنوع حد يطلع ولا ينزل، يعني اللي بيطلع وبينزل بموت، يعني الشهداء قدامنا مرميين على الباب، ما نقدر نجيبهم بالمرة من الطريق من القناصة.
Still about the international news, leaders at an African Union summit in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa on Saturday condemned Israel's offensive in Gaza and called for its immediate end.
Moussa Faki, the chair of the African Union Commission, said Israel's offensive was the, quote, most flagrant, end quote, violation of international humanitarian law and accused Israel of having, quote, exterminated Gaza's inhabitants.
Azalia Soumani, president of the Comoros and the outgoing chairperson of the African Union, praised the case brought by South Africa against Israel at the International Court of Justice. A quarter of Gaza's residents are starving because of the war, which began with Hamas' assault into Israel on October the 7th, in which militants killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and abducted around 250.
Concern over conflicts and the resurgence of coups around the African continent also underscored the opening of this year's summit.
Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron said that recognizing the Palestinian state was not a taboo for France amid growing international frustration with Israel's actions and the state of Palestine.
France and the EU have long supported a two-state solution in the Middle East, but have said that Palestinian independence should come as part of the negotiated settlement.
With talks stalled and Israel's offensive in Gaza's deepening, some European countries are voicing support for recognizing Palestine sooner. Macron did not elaborate on conditions for France to recognize a Palestinian state, and France is unlikely to take such a decision unilaterally. But France holds important diplomatic weight as one of just 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council.
He also called for a ceasefire in Gaza and warned that an Israeli offensive in Rafah would lead to a humanitarian disaster without any precedent. Britain's Foreign Minister David Cameron said earlier this month that his country could officially recognize a Palestinian state after a ceasefire in Gaza.
Cela passe enfin par un élan décisif et irréversible pour mettre en œuvre la solution des 2 États. Nos partenaires dans la région, notamment la Jordanie, y travaillent. Nous y travaillons avec eux. Nous sommes prêts à y contribuer en Europe et au Conseil de sécurité. La reconnaissance d'un État palestinien n'est pas un tabou pour la France. Nous le devons aux Palestiniens dont les aspirations ont été trop longtemps piétinées. Nous le devons aux Israéliens qui ont vécu le plus grand massacre antisémite de notre siècle. Nous le devons à une région qui aspire à échapper aux promoteurs de chaos et aux semeurs de revanche. Une offensive israélienne à Rafah ne pourrait qu'aboutir à un désastre humanitaire sans précédent et serait un tournant dans ce conflit.
Moving on to the next news, around 10,000 runners participated in a run for the Gaza Marathon in Cairo on Friday. Now, all ticket sales for the event are going to support for the people in the Gaza Strip with urgent humanitarian aid.
Runners from 30 different countries were present, with one French participant telling the Associated Press that failing the people in Gaza is failing humanity.
The event was launched by Egyptian Minister of Social Solidarity, Nevin Al-Gabaj, in cooperation with the Egyptian Tribal and also Families Council, along with the Minister of Environment, Yasmin Fouad, and the Minister of Youth and Sports. Lyudmila Navalnaya, the mother of the late Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, was seen in the settlement of Karp and in the towns of Salihad and Tabinag, following official notice of her son's death on Saturday.
A note handed to Navalnaya stated that he died at 2:17 p.m. local time on Friday, according to Navalny's spokesperson Kira Yarmish.
Navalny's team said that the late politician's body was not being returned to his family until official tests were done. According to Navalny's team on its Telegram channel, when Navalnaya and one of the late politician's lawyers visited the morgue in Salihard, it was closed.
But the lawyer called the morgue and was told that the body was not there. Another of Navalny's lawyers went to Salihard's committee and also was told that the cause of Navalny's death had not yet been established, and the new investigations were being done with the results to be released next week.
Russia's Investigate Committee informed Navalny's team that the body would not be handed over to his relatives until those investigations were completed.
The United States is blaming Moscow for the death of Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny in a remote Russian prison. Navalny had been serving a lengthy prison sentence on charges that included extremism, which was widely seen as punishment for his years of criticism of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
White House Bureau Chief Patsy Widakuswara has this report just for you.
This is Alexei Navalny's last court appearance via video link on Thursday, February 15th, before news of his death Friday, in a remote high-security prison above the Russian Arctic Circle.
What has happened to Navalny is yet more proof of Putin's brutality. No one should be fooled, not in Russia, not at home, not anywhere in the world. Putin does not only target his citizens of other countries, as we've seen what's going on in Ukraine right now, he also inflicts terrible crimes on his own people.
From the Munich Security Conference, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris also condemned news of Navalny's death.
Whatever story they tell, let us be clear, Russia is responsible.
Other Western leaders joined in the condemnation, as did Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Obviously, he was killed by Putin, like thousands of others who have been tortured because of this one creature. Putin doesn't care who dies, as long as he retains his position.
A fierce critic of Russian President Vladimir Putin and corruption within the Russian government, the 47-year-old Navalny was serving a 30-year jail sentence when he died.
Both this regime and Vladimir Putin should be personally held responsible for all the atrocities they have committed in my country, in our country, Russia, in the last years.
In 2020, Navalny was poisoned with a nerve agent, which he blamed on Putin. Announcing his death Friday, Russia's Federal Prison Service said he died after feeling unwell following a walk.
In accordance with all current rules, the Federal Penitentiary Service is conducting examinations, clarifications, and so on.
President Joe Biden said he had warned Putin during their June 2021 Geneva summit that if Navalny died, the consequences would be devastating for Russia.
We'll be talking to many other countries concerned about Alexei Navalny, especially if these reports bear out to be true.
Putin.
But analysts are skeptical that any country could do anything beyond condemning Putin's actions.
I generally do not think that foreign countries, in this case, even such an extremely powerful and big country as the United States, plays important role in Russian internal politics.
During a hearing earlier this month, Navalny told prison workers to vote against Putin.
You just need to vote for any other candidate. I made a list of people that I'm in contact with and the social duty of each one of them. I recommend them to you.
Critics say the Kremlin is preparing to orchestrate another victory in Russia's March elections. Putin has held continuous positions as president or prime minister since 1999. Patsy Widakuswara, VOA News, Washington.
So we have more details from Russia's most prominent opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, reported died in a jail after a walk where he served his prison life sentence.
President Vladimir Putin's key political challenger, Alexei Navalny, died in an Arctic prison colony. The details of what happened are unknown. Navalny's team says it has no official confirmation of his death, and Russian authorities say they are establishing why he died. His allies previously accused Russian officials of trying to poison him with a nerve agent in 2020. Assassination attempts against foes of Putin have been common during his nearly quarter-century in power. Over the years, Kremlin political critics, turncoat spies, and investigative journalists have been killed or assaulted in a variety of ways. In August 2020, Navalny fell ill on a flight from Siberia to Moscow. The plane landed in the city of Omsk, where Navalny was hospitalized in a coma. 2 days later, he was airlifted to Berlin, where he recovered. His allies almost immediately said that he was poisoned, but Russian officials denied it. Labs in Germany, France, and Sweden confirmed Navalny was poisoned by a Soviet-era nerve agent known as Novichok, where he reported had been applied to his underwear. Navalny returned to Russia and was convicted last August of extremism and sentenced to 19 years in prison. It was his third conviction with a prison sentence in 2 years. He said the charges were politically motivated. Those close to the victims and the few survivors have blamed Russian authorities, but the Kremlin has routinely denied involvement. Navalny, a 47-year-old former lawyer, rose to fame more than a decade ago for blogging about what he called massive corruption and luxury among Russia's criminal and thieving elite.
Moving to New York, a verdict has been delivered in the New York civil fraud trial involving former President Donald Trump.
This decision marks a major setback for Trump, whose legal battles have continued to unfold since he left office.
Now, Aaron Rennan has the full story from the Big Apple, New York City.
Significant legal blow to former President Donald Trump. A New York judge has ordered him, his 2 adult sons, and his companies to pay $364 million and barred him from doing business in New York State for 3 years. The Office of New York Attorney General Letitia James issued the following statement. Today, justice has been served. This is a tremendous victory for this state, this nation, and for everyone who believes that we must all play by the same rules, even former presidents. The ruling comes after the judge found that the Trump Organization engaged in a years-long scheme to deceive banks and other entities with financial statements that exaggerated the value of many of his properties. The Trump Organization said the ruling was a gross miscarriage of justice. Every member of the New York business community, no matter the industry, should be gravely concerned with this gross overreach and brazen attempt by the Attorney General to exert limitless power where no private or public harm has been established. New Yorkers have been vocal in expressing their views on this verdict.
It won't affect mine because I was never going to vote for him, but I hope it will affect the vote of others.
I think it's ridiculous, but I think it's the same thing. They're always trying to attack him, so just ignore it and keep moving forward.
Former President Donald Trump is expected to challenge the verdict.
Donald Trump will certainly appeal, and there's 2 different levels he can go to in New York. The first is the Court of Appeal. Then he can go to the state's highest court. But that's a discretionary appeal. They don't have to take the case, and they may not. And then, of course, there's always the possibility that he can go to the U.S. Supreme Court. But there's no real federal issue here. This is a state issue in New York.
Romani clarifies that while Trump is required to put up some cash right away, he's not obligated to pay the entire sum immediately.
Donald Trump is going to have to pay something very soon, because if he wants to appeal this case, he's going to have to purchase an appeal bond, which will cost a percentage of the judgment. So it's going to be a significant sum.
This verdict represents a setback for Trump, whose carefully crafted image as a successful businessman has been central to his public persona and political aspirations, and could have an effect on undecided voters.
It's all about the independents in this upcoming presidential race, and it looks now as if he's going to lose a huge chunk of them. Recent polls have showed all his legal hassles, not just this case, has dropped at least 10 points among independent voters. And that's crucial in swing states like, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin.
With the presidential election less than 9 months away and Trump's other legal cases, including a pending criminal indictment still awaiting resolution, the verdicts could wield significant influence on the outcome of the United States 2024 presidential election. Aaron Rainin, VOA News, New York City.
All right, so it's time for us to take another short break. So when we return, We'll still have updates from around Southeast Asia for you, so keep it here.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Kenapa sih dia selalu mau eksis kalau aku syuting? Ijo sama yang merah ini tuh rumah pribumi, jadi aku taruh di dalam, makanya rasanya lebih welcome gitu. Modern banget. Sempit banget kalau ceilingnya pendek. Menurut aku ya, kita belum ngerasa memiliki kalau belum ada sejarahnya.
Yang penting apa yang gue makan bisa gue buang pada saat gue olahraga gitu.
Jadi Amila kalau ketemu mungkin dia ketawa tuh.
Dengan proses gue bersyukur banget Kubu Junior tuh sempat bubar tahun 2016-2017.
Feelingnya sabu-sabu karena sabu-sabu kita cuma makannya setahun sekali.
Kalau kita dengerin Spotify ya, Pak gimana sih caranya aku bisa masuk di sini gitu. Ya nggak boleh menghalangi lah.
Bukit sampai elevasi gua hari itu nyentuh 4.000-an lah.
I kinda wanna die.
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 ranjang.
Welcome back to the C Morning Show. Now in this segment, we will give you some information from the region. Now let's see what's making headlines across Southeast Asia. Let's begin our first story.
Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has signed the decision to establish the National Council for Science, Technology and Innovation. He will serve as the council's chairman, and members include leaders of ministries, universities, and academies, among others. As an intersectoral organization, the council will assist the Prime Minister in studying, directing, and coordinating the handling of important issues to promote the development of science. The council is also responsible for promoting coordination between ministerial-level agencies and other sectors, contributing to the nation's socio-economic growth, security defense, and international integration.
Shanghai's airport has handled over 200,000 in and outbound trips made by visa-free travelers from China and also Singapore since the two countries enforced a mutual visa exemption agreement on February the 9th. Under the agreement, Chinese and also Singaporean citizens holding ordinary passports are allowed to enter and also stay in each other's countries visa-free for up to 30 days. Now, over the past 6 days, resources records showed that the popularity of outbound travels by mainland Chinese residents to Singapore jumped from the top 8 last year to the top 3 just now, affected by the combination of visa-free policy and the Spring Festival holiday.
Thai authorities issued a warning on Thursday about unhealthy pollution levels in Bangkok and nearby provinces, mandating government employees in the capital to work from home for the next 2 days, advising others to follow suit. A combination of crop-related burning, industrial pollution, heavy traffic, and smoky haze covering Bangkok's skyline have been blamed for the situation. Air quality tracking website IQ Air has said the level of fine inhalable particles in the city is 15 times higher than the recommended level by the World Health Organization, making it the world's 8th most polluted city. The government has offered subsidies to farmers to prevent burning and packages for cheaper electric vehicles, while lawmakers are considering a Clean Air Act for transport, business, and agriculture to reduce pollution on a wider scale.
All right, so those were our headlines for today. And now we're just going to jump into the Philippines, where rescuers are searching for survivors just today after a massive landslide hit a gold mining town in the Philippines.
Yes, a huge chunk of landslid from a mountain following heavy rains, leaving at least 11 workers dead and 110 people missing in the Masara village in Mako town, Davao de Oro province on Tuesday night. Soldiers, police, and volunteers were securing buried homes and buildings during search and rescue operations in the mountainous regions. Local officials reported that the landslide occurred near a mining site where some 30 workers were waiting in the buses to be taken home. The avalanche had buried the buses, a government office, and several houses.
Now, as of February the 8th, around 1,166 displaced families were staying at relief centers in the towns of Mako and also Mawab. Executive Assistant at the Davao de Oro Information and also Communication Office, Edward Makatili, told local media that they are hopeful there are still survivors among those buried, and that's why they are expediting the rescue and also retrieval operations in the area itself. So he added that the authorities were investigating the mining company for potential safety lapses that resulted in the landslide.
Davao de Oro is among the southern Philippine provinces pummeled by torrential rains due to the northeast monsoon and the throw of a low-pressure area. Philippine Weather Bureau Pagasa warned that the region may be battered by heavy to intense rains over the weekend. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, awareness in protecting the environment has become a trend in big cities.
Yes, a public library in Ho Chi Minh City encourages people to live a sustainable life. Now, the library is given the name Na Niu La, which means leafy home.
I'm standing at a very special library with a lot of books for free reading, a lot of stuff for sale, and stuff collected for the recycling purposes. To the one that follows a zero-waste lifestyle in Ho Chi Minh City, this place should be included into the to-go list because it does not only promote the lifestyle, but also connects people for a lot of activities for the community.
The Leafy Home is a unique establishment located in an old house on Hoa Hưng Street, District 10, Ho Chi Minh City. Functioning as a more than just a free library, this space is a hub for fostering a sense of community and promoting a sustainable zero-waste lifestyle.
Giờ tụi mình đã hoạt động hơn 3 năm. Tụi mình có một cái thư viện sách cộng đồng, nơi mà mọi người có thể đến và mượn sách miễn phí. Mọi người cũng có thể ngồi lại ở cái không gian chia sẻ cộng đồng này để đọc sách. Và tụi mình cũng thường xuyên có những cái dự án xã hội đi tặng sách cho các trẻ em ở vùng sâu vùng xa, nơi mà các trường học, các trẻ em chưa có thư viện sách, chưa có nhiều điều kiện để tiếp xúc với văn hóa đọc.
However, Leafy Home goes beyond being just a library. It serves as a catalyst for inspiring environmentally conscious living. The venue hosts various events that encourage a zero-waste lifestyle, including activities such as old clothes exchange, old battery exchange, and plastic bottle exchange in return to plants. These initiatives not only promote sustainability, but also contribute to building a sense of community engagement.
Hiện tại thì mọi người cũng đã bắt đầu gọi là quen với cái việc mà sống bền vững, sống xanh. Thì những cái hoạt động môi trường của nhà nhiều lá cũng đã bắt đầu thu hút được nhiều người hơn.
I'm going here to exchange clothes to plant, and I will put it on my desk. I usually collect old clothes, battery or bottle, plastic bag to go here to exchange it 1 or 2 months one time.
Tụi mình cũng có khá là nhiều khó khăn. Thứ nhất đó là về không gian. Thì bạn thấy là không gian nó cũng khá là nhỏ, nên là đối với những cái sự kiện mà tụi mình thu gom nhiều rác, giống như là sự kiện đổ quần áo có khi là đến 7 tấn quần áo á, thì tụi mình sẽ không có đủ không gian để mà xử lý, để chứa cái số lượng đó. Thứ hai đó là về nhân sự. Thì những cái sự kiện mà đông á, thì tụi mình thường sẽ bị thiếu các bạn tình nguyện viên đến hỗ trợ, và nó làm cho cái quá trình mà diễn ra sự kiện nó sẽ không được có suôn sẻ. Cái khó khăn nữa đó là về tài chính đi. Thì nói chung là mình nghĩ là tài chính thì chắc là dự án nào cũng sẽ gặp khó khăn. Tụi mình cũng đang cố gắng để phát triển những cái hoạt động, những cái sự kiện của tụi mình để có một cái nguồn quỹ ổn định để duy trì cái không gian cộng đồng này, và cũng như là phát triển những cái dự án xã hội mà chúng mình đang theo đuổi.
Leafy Homes organize pop-up second-hand markets where visitors can find unique items while supporting the principles of recycling and reusing. Besides, it offers refill stations for household essentials and sells a wide range of recycled products, including plant pots, tissues, clothes, to name just a few.
Selling products like this is how the organization are making profit to maintain the environmental friendly activities. Challenges are ahead, but what Nyanyula has made has certainly influenced a number of citizens in Ho Chi Minh City on the zero waste lifestyle. Tang Huyền Trang, reporting for C Today from Vietnam.
Now let's take another short break, but we will have some movie talks when we return here on the C Morning Show on C Today. Exciting.
The Indonesian State-Owned Enterprises Ministry has underlined its commitment to supporting small and medium enterprises by launching vending machines at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport.
Qatar has advanced to the quarterfinals of the 2023 AFC Asian Cup after defeating Palestine 2-1 in the round of 16 at the Al Ayed Stadium in Al Khor.
So we'll be back with the daily dose of entertainment. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on the smash. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
The China Earthquake Network Center reported that the quake rocked the Erterpen County in Aksu Prefecture shortly after 2 a.m. local time.
Minister January Makamba was a guest in one of our news programs, a 3-hour news show yesterday. While he was in the studio, he used the opportunity to explain the current state of diplomatic ties between Tanzania and Indonesia.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Bahwa Raspati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on Indonesia!
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 ranjang.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
And we have more business updates right here from our nation, where the Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturers, or GAIKINDO, reported that over 1 million vehicles were sold in Indonesia last year.
The Indonesian government has announced plans to allocate around 4.8 billion rupiahs for this year's pre-employment program.
Now, the program aims to help boost economic recovery, especially for those affected by COVID-related layoffs.
The Indonesian government is once again providing food aid in the form of rice reserves to support the public amid higher prices of the commodity in the market.
Stok bulog sekarang ini alhamdulillah masih pada posisi yang baik. Masih 1,4 juta ton.
China has been racing against time for rescue and disaster relief work after a landslide on Monday struck a mountainous village in southwest China's Yunnan province.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku deport sih.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh. Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Oh, hello there. Welcome back to the C Morning Show. I'm from popcorn and my hand.
I know. Which means?
We'll have a movie talk right now. We're still in the mood of the election, and you can still enjoy the rest of the weekend by watching a political-themed film at home.
Okay, that's a line. So if you are a K-drama fan, I would love to recommend you guys Queen Maker, because it's a good one.
보궐선거. 재밌는 정치쇼 한번 하시려는 것 같은데 더 재밌는 그림 만들어 드릴게요.
In the aftermath of a tragic incident, a formidable strategist channels her expertise to groom a civil rights advocate into the city's next leader, while targeting her former employer. Meet Hwang Do-hee, played by Kim Hee-ae, a seasoned professional who has navigated corporate corridors for over a decade, sporting towering stilettos as her trademark.
As the mastermind behind President Identity Consulting at Yunsung Group, a major player in the business arena, she excels in crafting flawless public personas for the company's elite. Despite her success, she embarks on a new mission to propel Oh Kyung-soo, played by Moon So-ri, into the role of Seoul's mayor. United by a shared vision of a fairer society, these two women from divergent backgrounds join forces to challenge the status quo and champion truth and justice for all.
And if you want to watch a movie about politics, but you still want to laugh it out, here's another movie recommendation related to general election, which is Long Shot.
I actually just watched this movie a couple of weeks ago.
Really? How was it?
Because it stars Seth Rogen and it stars Charlize Theron.
Yes.
I don't know how to pronounce Theron. Is it
Theron.
Theron? Charlize Theron. And it's really a funny story about a journalist who meets his childhood babysitter, who is now a Secretary of State. They fell in love with each other.
Oh.
So yeah, this romantic comedy will give you another point of view of an election. Well, let's check it out.
Is the Secretary of State looking at us? I kind of know her. It's like kind of knowing a mermaid. If you tell people that. She probably doesn't remember who I am.
Secretary Field would like to speak with you.
With me?
Long Shot is a romantic comedy film released in 2019.
Picture me, I guess, maybe like 20 years younger, but like this.
Flarsky?
Yeah!
The story revolves around Fred Flarsky, played by Seth Rogen, a passionate journalist with a penchant for trouble. Meanwhile, Charlotte Field, played by Charlize Theron, is a sophisticated and ambitious Secretary of State who is preparing to run for president.
What is the relationship exactly?
I used to babysit for him.
You babysat for him? Wow, time has not been kind.
The film, directed by Jonathan Levine, embarks on a romantic comedy plot between Fred and Charlotte.
What is your favorite book as a kid?
The Velveteen Rabbit.
Favorite song?
Must Have Been Love by Roxette.
Most embarrassing moment?
The unlikely pair reunite after years apart, when Fred quits his job and joins Charlotte's team as a speechwriter. Despite their contrasting personalities and background, Fred and Charlotte share a history that sparks a connection between them.
Yeah.
We did almost just die.
We actually did almost die.
As Charlotte embarks on her presidential campaign, Fred accompanies her on a whirlwind tour across the globe. Along the way, they navigate the challenges of politics, media scrutiny, and personal insecurities while grappling with their growing feelings for each other.
Wow, he's so bendy, huh? Oh, ouch.
All right, so the next one is Knock Down the House. No, not in real life. Okay, so which shines a spotlight on the remarkable journey of political outsiders as they challenge the status quo and also fight for the change in the American political landscape.
Yes, the movie was released in 2019. The documentary captures the essence of grassroots activism and the power of ordinary citizens to make an actual difference.
If I was a rational person, I would have dropped out of this race a long time ago.
Crowley hasn't had a primary challenger in 14 years.
Knock Down the House follows the captivating stories of 4 women from diverse backgrounds who decide to run for Congress in the 2018 midterm elections.
My mom cleaned houses growing up. I never really saw myself going.
With unprecedented access, the film provides an intimate look into their lives, struggles, and determination to represent the voice of their communities.
We're doing something
At the heart of the documentary are 4 fearless candidates: Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Amy Vilela, Cori Bush, and Paula Jean Swearagin. Each woman brings her unique perspective and passion for change to the political arena, challenging established incumbents and entrenched interests along the way.
Being a woman of color, our image is scrutinized. People in my district, this is how we...
Knock Down the House captured the grassroots campaigns of these political outsiders as they mobilize volunteers, engage voters, and divide the odds in their quest for elected office. From town hall meetings to door-to-door canvassing, the film showcases the tireless efforts of these candidates to connect with voters and amplify their message of hope and empowerment. Knock Down the House is poignant and inspiring testament to the power of grassroots activism and resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Through its compelling storytelling and intimate portraits, the documentary served as a rallying cry for political engagement and social justice, leaving a lasting impression on audience worldwide.
The whole movement. For one of us to make it through, 100 of us have to try.
Now, next on our movie talk list, just for you, is an action political thriller, White House Down, starring Channing Tatum and the most talented Jamie Foxx as the U.S. president. The iconic residence of the President of the United States becomes a battleground for an intense terrorist attack.
Yes, and released in 2013, the film delivers an adrenaline-fueled narrative that keeps audiences on the edge of their seats from start to finish.
John Cale. Why do you want to be in the Secret Service?
White House Down is a high-octane action thriller released in 2013, directed by Roland Emmerich.
You're not to look at Agent Todd.
Special Agent Todd keeps making those sounds. I'm gonna start looking at him.
Did you get the job?
The film follows the story of John Cale, played by Channing Tatum, a dedicated Capitol Police officer with aspirations of joining the Secret Service.
If you are just tuning in, we are going to breaking news out of Washington.
His plans take an unexpected turn when he finds himself in the midst of a meticulously orchestrated assault on the White House.
Including my daughter. Alpha 1, do you have the target?
Led by a rogue ex-Delta Force operative Emil Stens, a heavily armed paramilitary group storms the presidential residence, plunging the nation into chaos. At its core, White House Down explores the theme of heroism, sacrifice, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. As Cale risks everything to protect his loved ones and defend his country, he embodies the courage and determination of a true hero.
The explosive used at the Capitol was a diversion.
With its gripping narrative, spectacular visual effects, and stellar performances, White House Down offers an electrifying cinematic experience that captivates the audience from start to finish. As viewers join John Cale on his mission to save the White House, they are taken on a thrilling journey filled with action, suspense, and unforgettable moments.
White House Down. Sorry, I was like, White House Down. No, that's not right.
White House Down.
White House, no, House White. Okay, White House Down. So, received mixed reviews from critics towards the screenwriting and also cliche storyline itself. So, but the film grossed around 205 million worldwide at the box office itself against, the budget of making it's about like 150 million. So, tops about 200 something. White House Down was one of the films released way back in 2013, and it is still a good movie to watch. It was released. The other one is also you can watch Olympus Has Fallen. So that's an additional 3 months after White House Down was released. There's Olympus also, so you can watch both of the two movies. Are you guys into political movies, or?
I'm not into political movies, but
action movies like this one.
Action movies and rom-com movies starring Seth Rogen. Yeah.
With a political twist in it.
With the political twist in it.
Still political, right?
That kind of movie. I remember watching this movie back in 2013 in theaters, and it was a nail-biting action movie.
Yeah, right?
I remember Channing Tatum was looking for a job as a head of security at the White House at the same day.
Making his daughter proud.
Yes, at the same day there was a terrorist attack at the White House.
Right.
So it's really cliche, but it's a really fun movie to watch.
And how bad luck affect someone's first day at work. Channing Tatum giving the biggest challenge. But other from that movie as well, one similar movie, if we read the reviews, is 13 Hours, The Soldiers in Benghazi.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So not only we can be entertained and probably have, edge, nail-biting scenes that we can watch, but it's also based on a true story, so we can learn from history as well as watching a movie.
I love true stories.
And speaking of learning history through movies, last but not least, we have one recommendation here, The Iron Lady, which is a biopic of the former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, starring Meryl Streep, and you can never go wrong with Meryl Streep in the titular role. The film has sparked intense debate and controversy as well since its release. So let's take a look.
I will never be one of those women who stays silent on the arm of her husband. One's life must matter, Dennis.
That's why I want to marry you, my dear.
Mrs. Thatcher, one simply has to make you look and sound like the leader that you could be.
Meryl Streep's portrayal of Margaret Thatcher in The Iron Lady has been praised for its nuance and depth, earning the actress critical acclaim and numerous awards, including an Academy Award for Best Actress.
So they become your character.
Streep captures Thatcher's steely determination, sharp intellect, and unwavering conviction, bringing the iconic leader to life on the silver screen. Directed by Philly Lloyd, the film offers a glimpse into Thatcher's personal and political journey, stirring emotions and memories among audiences worldwide.
And I want them back.
The Iron Lady delves into Thatcher's controversial policies with their impact on British society, including her confrontations with labor unions, economic reforms, and the Falklands War. The film explores Thatcher's complex relationship with power, ambition, and her personal struggles, offering a nuanced portrayal of one of the most influential figures in modern British history.
Slowing down now just won't win, darling.
Your problem is that you haven't got the courage for this fight. Gentlemen, shall we join?
There you go, our movie recommendations. If you want to watch this Sunday, I'm not gonna say Saturday, Sunday with your whole family. Okay guys, we are set for another short break, so when we return, we have more coming up. So don't forget to follow our social media accounts if you haven't already. We're on Instagram, X, and also YouTube at See Today News. Stay tuned.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
And we have more business updates right here from our nation, where the Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturers, or GAIKINDO, reported that over 1 million vehicles were sold in Indonesia last year.
The Indonesian government has announced plans to allocate around 4.8 billion rupiahs for this year's pre-employment program.
Now, the program aims to help boost economic recovery, especially for those affected by COVID-related layoffs.
The Indonesian government is once again providing food aid in the form of rice reserves to support the public amid higher prices of the commodity in the market.
Stok bulog sekarang ini alhamdulillah masih pada posisi yang baik, masih 1,4 juta ton.
China has been racing against time for rescue and disaster relief work after a landslide on Monday struck a mountainous village in southwest China's Yunnan province.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depotsi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh. Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
gue yang penting apa yang gue makan bisa gue buang pada saat gue olahraga segitu.
Jadi Adila kalau ketemu mungkin dia ketawa tuh.
Dengan proses, gue bersyukur banget Kubu Junior tuh sempat bubar tahun 2016-2017.
Feelingnya sabu-sabu, karena sabu-sabu kita cuma makannya setahun sekali.
Kalau kita dengerin Spotify ya, Pak gimana sih caranya aku bisa masuk di sini gitu. Ya nggak boleh menghalangi lah.
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 keranjang.
Welcome back to the C Morning Show right here on C Today. Now, either you are a resident of South Tangerang or you're living nearby or just traveling for a holiday there, you might want to consider visiting the BXC Oceanarium at the Bintaro Jaya Exchange Mall because this entertainment attraction offers more than 25,000 marine animals and also 140 species. Let's take a look.
For you, marine life enthusiasts, welcome to the BXC Oceanarium, a home for 10,000s of marine creatures located at the Bintaro Jaya Exchange Mall 2 in South Tangerang. This oceanarium features 20 areas where they house more than 25,000 marine animals, consist of 140 species. Starting from black-tipped shark, jellyfish, giant grouper, and many more. And the good news is, the site also displays freshwater animals, including alligator gar fish, black pacu, and many others.
Okay, so this is the area where they displays the freshwater animals. And if you can see right here, on the left side of me, this is the biggest fish that live in this kind of like real river. It is Arapaima and originated coming from South America. And fun fact about it that, you know, that the mouth of Arapaima, they have a really sharp teeth function to crush its prey. So just be careful if you're near them, okay?
BXC has edutainment concept where people can both entertain and educate it with various species of marine life. Ever since its opening on December 15th, the place has caught attention and excitement from many, especially children.
I feel kind of happy here, and this is my first time here. I've seen the giant Pacific octopus, I've seen the giant squid, I've seen the king crab. So my most favorite animal here, I like the fish that's light blue and yellow-tailed from here.
Visitors can witness marine life and do various activities in the premises. For instance, the feeding session at the 2-story aquarium or gazing the beautiful fish and other marine animals at the tunnel.
Oke, main attraction kita itu yang pertama kayak akuarium belakang kita ini. Ini akuarium 2 lantai. Dia ini ada beberapa kali dalam sehari itu acara atau waktunya feeding time. Nah, jadi ini menjadi salah satu akuarium favorit dan lalu area yang menjadi favorit itu juga tunnel kita gitu. Tunnel kita karena kan tunnel kita ini terbesar ya se-Asia Tenggara. Terbesar means lebarnya. Jadi lebar kita itu sekitar 2,8 meter, tingginya 2,4 meter. Nah, jadi dalam satu waktu itu orang bisa 4 sampai 5 orang berdiri di dalam tunnel itu berjejer. Nah, jadi kalau misalkan ada orang yang sedang selfie, duduk-duduk, tapi ada orang lewat juga itu masih aman.
Other than fishes, you can also explore the rainforest area where it displays various reptiles. To enjoy such experience, visitors can buy a ticket with price ranging from 75 to 175,000 rupiah. Akasha Fiandri, Reza Anidita for C Today.
Now moving on, as the 5th largest country in Europe, Sweden has a well-integrated transportation access in its capital, Stockholm. Now, the stations offer some unique design, dubbed the world's largest art exhibition. The station has at least 100 stops and also covers a 110-kilometer railway route where travelers can actually find a variety of artworks made by around 150 artists.
When we visit Stockholm, Sweden, taking the public transportation is a must, as it is the cheapest option for getting around this beautiful city. The underground fast train station, the T-Bana, short for Tunnel Bana or Tunnel Path, offers visitors to gaze dozens of artworks displayed along the station. Dubbed the world's longest art exhibit, the station covers 110-kilometer railway route. Along the stops, passengers will find a variety of wall paintings and other durable art displays in this famous Stockholm subway art. Out of 100 stops, 90 have been decorated and designed by over 150 artists.
One of the main stations that connects with all lines is Centralen or Central Stations, and the station is full with blue and white distinctive and uniqueness ornaments. Isn't it great, right? It was built in 1957 and located in the heart of Stockholm.
The domination of blue and white color of the station was to signify the color of a first transportation line. It was an artist named Per-Olof Ultvedt who chose the blue shades. Not only he chose based on aesthetic values, he also considered their relaxing effect to create a calming atmosphere. Well, for the most part, because the station is a place where people are in a hurry to catch the connection to other lines. No wonder.
I think it's very beautiful, and it comes forward so much because it's so open, and so it brings more lightfulness and more joy to the station, because otherwise it would just be very sad and boring.
Next, we are heading to Kungsträdgården station. Kungsträdgården has arguably one of the most dramatic installations. Painted by Ulrik Samuelsson in 1977 with additions made by artists in 1987, the ceiling artwork can be found on and near the exit of the station. Our final stop this time was Stadion Station on the Red Line. The Stadion Station ceiling is teamed with brightly rainbow-colored sculptures and signs symbolizing the Olympic rings. We can also find a large arching rainbow on the marbled blue rock walls. It was designed by Enno Halleck and Åke Palarp in 1973 to commemorate the 1912 Olympics.
Public transport isn't usually pretty, but in Stockholm, Sweden, it's more than just a way to get around. It's an art display, and not just art display, but it also offers a great facilities for handicapped or for mothers who have strollers, or even though people who travel, with wheels. It's really great, and it is really accessible for everyone who travels in Stockholm, Sweden. Noni Wisano, Dian Merdekawati reporting for Today from Stockholm, Sweden.
Okay, so let's shift our focus to less distressing news. When you need to vacay and you can't really go there, it's okay, because did you know that you can actually explore Switzerland through 5 tokens? Yes, Switzerland. Now, these 5 tokens embody the wealth and also beauty of this country, where quality is not just a standard, but a way of life. Now, from precisions, craftsmen, and also to the uniqueness of the arts and also tradition itself, each token offers a small piece of the enchanting charm of Switzerland that you can take home.
Nestled in the heart of Switzerland, where majestic landscape meet meticulous craftsmanship, 5 emblematic souvenirs capture the essence of this Alpine haven. Firstly, the Swiss watch, a beacon of unmatched craftsmanship and timeless elegance. While Rolex and Patek Philippe are well-known brands, let us introduce you to Mondane. Mondane resides in a distinct price range compared to your typical Cartier, Omega, or Breitling. It is the favorite choice of the punctual Swiss Federal Railways, SBB. Indulged in the delectable Swiss chocolates, masterfully crafted with the finest cocoa. Up for the renowned brands like Springly or Ladera for luxurious treat. If the price doesn't suit your preferences, consider indulging in their free samples instead.
Your store smells like chocolate.
Or explore alternatives like Cahiers, Regusa, Frey, or local store brands such as Coop. Take a journey into the artistic side with the well-crafted Swiss color of Caron d'Age, known not only for its smooth coloring, but also its durability. For those seeking a harmonious blend of tradition and innovation, the Swiss Army knife stands as an indispensable and versatile tool synonymous with Swiss precision. Lastly, bring home a piece of Swiss charm with intricately designed cowbell, symbolizing the country's rich dairy heritage.
Well, Swiss is known for the cows, cheese, and milk, of course chocolate. So if you're still confused, the little bell will be good souvenirs for the loved ones.
These 5 souvenirs promise to encapsulate the spirit of Switzerland, ensuring your memories are as enduring as the majestic Alps themselves.
Well, if everything fails, you always can get the fridge magnet for your mom or your sister or your loved ones. So I think we're gonna get this.
Okay, so guys, we are set for another short break. So in the meantime, don't forget to follow our social media accounts if you haven't already. So we're on Instagram, X, and also YouTube at See Today News. Stay with us.
Kind of 10 days, the priority has been getting to California and making the miles and saving our money as best we can.
We're going to ride 80 miles tomorrow. We've just ridden 70 and we're all starving.
Took the first couple of corners and felt pretty comfortable, so I thought I might get it.
So that was just too much rear brake, stalled the engine.
The end of the first day of competition.
The winner of the challenge today was Brody.
Revealed today by generations unborn when they weave their spell. The Cup of Dreams. It's football's biggest prize. On the greatest stage.
Kenapa sih dia selalu mau eksis kalau aku syuting? Ijo sama yang merah ini tuh rumah pribumi. Jadi aku taruh di dalam, makanya rasanya lebih welcome gitu. Modern banget. Ini tuh sempit banget kalau ceilingnya pendek. Menurut aku ya, kita belum ngerasa memiliki kalau belum ada sejarahnya.
The Indonesian State-Owned Enterprises Ministry has underlined its commitment to supporting small and medium enterprises by launching vending machines at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport.
Qatar has advanced to the quarterfinals of the 2023 AFC Asian Cup after defeating Palestine 2-1 in the round of 16 at the Al Ayed Stadium in Al Khor.
So we'll be back with the daily dose of entertainment. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Boras Pati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on Indonesia!
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 ranjang.
Welcome back to the C Morning Show here on C Today. Now it is time for our signature segment. It's called Sports Talk. Now I'm in my sports attire. Now we will bring you insights and top stories from the world of sports. Now today it's going to be really exciting because we're going to talk about tennis. Now we know that tennis is one of the most popular sports around the globe, including Indonesia. However, the sport still faces several challenges that hinders its developments and also accessibility for many. The sport's potential has sometimes been hindered by a sense of isolation among communities and a dearth of engaging avenues for enthusiasts to come together. Many players have expressed the need for a fresh approach that only not bridges gaps, but also infuses tennis with the energy and enthusiasm it deserves. There are many ways to overcome this problem, and one of the aspects is by organizing amateur tennis leagues, like the Indonesian Lawn Tennis League do, that focus and also aim to connect amateur tennis players in Indonesia through a competitive tennis ladder. Not just that, the league also empower amateur tennis enthusiasts in Indonesia by tailoring a dynamic platform where they can connect, learn, and also cultivate their skills with professional and semi-professional tennis coaches and also players. And now, to know more about the Indonesian Lawn Tennis League, as well as the new season, let's chat with Indonesian Lawn Tennis League co-founder and CEO, and my good friend, Rashli Yeremia. Rashli, it's nice to have you here on the show. Good morning, and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me here.
How was waking up on a Sunday morning?
Pretty easy.
You're a morning person.
Yeah.
Yes, so Ashley and I met a couple years ago, actually a year ago.
A year ago.
We played flag football, but I just knew that you are the co-founder of the ILTL, and that's why we're bringing you to the show. We want to know more about the league. First of all, what inspired you to establish the Indonesian Lawn Tennis League? And what are your goals of making this league?
So basically, the idea was thought of by one of our other co-founders, Revel, back in 2016. So he wanted to make a tennis league really just to kind of engage the communities and create more excitement around the tennis. We've grown around the sports from ever since we're 3. But yeah, so then back in 2021, we decided that we saw a couple of problems. So we saw that players were only playing at their home courts or complex, and they didn't know any other tennis players around the city. And we saw that there just isn't enough tournaments for amateurs. Like they want to feel a competitive setting, but where they feel hyped up like a professional player.
Exactly. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way.
And yeah, so basically we saw that, and so we aim to kind of break all of that bubble, we created this. We started with 100 people, and thankfully it's taken off ever since.
Oh, that's good to hear. But a little bit about your background. You played tennis professionally?
I wouldn't say professional. I used to play in juniors. I used to tour, and then I played in college back in Chicago State.
So you played overseas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was amazing.
It was an amazing experience for you too,
yeah.
right?
It was
playing
great.
overseas, playing juniors, meeting international players, and then you went back home to Indonesia and you saw this problem.
Yeah.
So what makes the ILTL with other leagues different?
So I think we need to clearly differentiate between two other type of tournaments. There's like the national and the international level tournaments, and there's also other amateur tournaments. So in June, I think there's a international level tournament, Jita ITF Juniors, and that one is geared specifically towards high-level juniors who are competing, and probably the next step for them is college level or pros. But so we're definitely different there. Our league, we create our league specifically for amateurs or ex-athletes, and we partner with other tournaments as well to kind of cultivate that environment. But what differentiates us from other sports, like other tennis tournaments, the amateur tennis tournaments, is we kind of innovated the ladder system. So that's actually not a new system, but we innovated it so that, you know, it runs a season long, like for like 3-4 months, where people can self-arrange and have a flexible schedule as they play throughout the season. And we introduce exciting elements such as like gamification, hyping up posts, so people can have something to be proud of.
Yep. And I actually joined ILTL back in September. I played in a couple of matches. I arranged the matches with my competitors as well. And it's really a fun thing to do, especially if you love the sport of tennis. You should actually join ILTL. So can you tell us more about the format and how many participants have joined so far? How is the engagement? And is there any celebrities who have joined ILTL?
Yeah. There are, to name a few, I mean, there's Dion, Tanta,
Dion Wiyoko,
Tanta Ginting, Desta.
Oh, Desta.
Desta as well. Yeah.
You've joined ILTL?
Yeah.
Wow. So how does this format work?
So basically, in the season, we have about a 3-month season where players, they have a ladder and they challenge each other. So they challenge up to 10 positions above, and if you win, then you switch place. But if you so people at the bottom of the ladder, they can climb up, and people at the top ladder might be bumped down as well. So the goal is at the end of the 3-month, you want to make it to the playoffs, and how you do that is by making it to the top 8.
Okay.
And then that's where we bring all the top 8 players into a tournament, and then so even if you end the season at #1 spot, that doesn't mean that you're going to be the champion, because then you still have to enter the tournament. You have to win the tournament. Yeah, so that's kind of, and so far, thankfully, as I said, we started with 100 people. Last season, we have about almost 2,500 players playing. Yeah,
from 100 to 2,500.
Yeah,
in 2 years.
Yeah, in about 2 years,
okay.
and I think in the middle of so we were at season 8, and midway, kind of like season 5, we started introducing live streaming, and we have maybe 150 people coming in on site to watch the matches, and also people streaming, about 200 people on site and about 150 on Instagram. Our last one, we had 400 people coming in to the venue to watch, and about 2,000 people streaming from YouTube.
Wow, so now you're on that spot. A lot of people are getting attention to the ILTL.
Yes.
And from the 3rd season until this season, the competition opens in several cities as well. Not only the capital city of Jakarta, but also in Surabaya as well. There's in Bandung, and you expanded so much. And what are your targets this year? And I heard it's the 2nd anniversary of ILTL. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, and so we did open in a lot of metropolitans, and this year we opened in 12 cities total, including like Manado, Medan, Gorontalo. So we are trying to reach more and more regions, but we've always been relatively conservative to expand. because we want to make sure that we can keep up, right? We want to make sure we can deliver the same quality. And so now we have these city activators, which are local tennis enthusiasts, or they're really passionate, that are helping us run and engage the communities locally.
In every city?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about the challenges that you face in this 2 years organizing the ILTL, and how do you ensure that the league's financial stability and also sustainability?
Yeah. So challenges, there's been a lot of challenges. Yeah, but it's always fun and exciting to tackle those challenges. One, we started with the Google Sheet, and then we want to make things easier always for the players to compete. So then we automated those Google Sheet, and then now we have our own web platform, so that everything is very easy, like the interface is easy. And then the leveling, making sure that players are playing at the appropriate level, making sure that the rules are always fair, and we're always going to have conflicts in the league. So trying to create the most transparent and best conflict resolution method for all of that. And as we expand to other cities, keeping the same intensity and the same excitement to those. Like, we used to have a lean team. So when we first opened in Surabaya and Makassar, all of us, we have to split, and we have to actually fly and attend all the tournaments and run those tournaments in those cities. So that's like a weekend, and then the next weekend we're moving on to different cities. So that was a big challenge.
That was quite a challenge for you and the team.
It was a lot of traveling.
Yeah, what?
Very fast traveling.
I can see that. 10 cities?
Yeah.
Just one time?
Yeah. Now 12. Yeah.
Now 12 cities.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know about your platform now, and to all the folks watching at home who are also tennis enthusiasts or also just beginning to learn tennis, there's a beginner level, there's an intermediate level, and also a pro level.
Yes, there's a master's level, which were for either high-performing amateurs and ex-athletes. So we had Wina Prakusha, who was our Fed Cup tennis player, but we have a criteria to make sure that they're not performing at the same level when they were at their prime, so that they can play at the master's level.
Ah, I see. So people at every level can join this league.
Yes, every level.
If you're a beginner, you can meet new beginners as well, facing beginners, each others. And also, if you feel like you learn tennis, but you haven't mastered it yet, you can go to the intermediate level.
Correct.
And there's the master's level.
Yeah.
So you access this through the website. For those of you watching at home who wants to actually engage and play at the ILTL, how can this happen?
So you can just log on to app.iltlsports.com. We recently rebranded, by the way, because we are trying to reach new sports as well. So it used to be IndonesiaLawnTennisLeague.com, which was really long. So now it's shorter. ILTLsports.com, yeah.
So go to ILTLsports.com. And last but not least, what are your hopes for ILTL for this upcoming third year?
So definitely we want to be the go-to premier league, premier competition when people think about tennis, when people think about other sports in terms of the amateur league. We want them to think about ILTL. So we hope that we can continue to bring this assignment to reach more people, to reach more cities, and to reach more sponsors, hopefully.
Okay, thankfully, from See Today, hopefully sponsors are watching the show. Thank you, Ashley, for being here. Best of luck for ILTL in the next season. Now let's take another break. We'll have a recap from news from our previous segment. So stay with us here on the See Morning Show, only on See Today.
Thank you so much.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir, dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Kenapa sih dia selalu mau eksis kalau aku syuting? Ijo sama yang merah ini tuh rumah pribumi, jadi aku taruh di dalam, makanya rasanya lebih welcome gitu. Modern banget. Dia tuh sempit banget kalau ceilingnya pendek. Menurut aku ya, kita belum ngerasa memiliki kalau belum ada sejarahnya.
Gue yang penting apa yang gue makan bisa gue buang pada saat gue olahraga. Gitu.
Jadi Abila kalau ketemu mungkin dia ketawa tuh.
Dengan proses, gue bersyukur banget Kubu Junior tuh sempat bubar tahun 2016-2017.
Feelingnya sabu-sabu, karena sabu-sabu kita cuma makannya setahun sekali.
Kalau kita dengerin Spotify ya, Pak gimana sih caranya aku bisa masuk di sini gitu. Ya nggak boleh menghalangi lah.
Bukit sampai elevasi gue hari itu nyentuh 4.000-an lah.
I kinda wanna die.
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 keranjang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Boras Pati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on Indonesia!
You're back with us on the C Morning Show, and ensuring that polls are running without problems is no easy task and has even caused casualties. The elections in Indonesia earlier this week was no exception, with hundreds of officials having been hospitalized and some have died.
Ensuring that polls run smoothly is the duty of election officers. The task is not easy, with very real risk. This year's elections, which took place recently, was no exception, with hundreds having been hospitalized from exhaustion and some have died. Jajang Sufat, chief official at the polling station number 18 in Bandung City, was one of those who lost their lives. He passed away on Friday following vote counting duties. His funeral took place the following day. His son told the press that Jajang likely died from exhaustion. He was also known to be unwell 2 days before the polls. Some 348 officials have also received treatment for various conditions.
Berjasa ke masyarakat, dekat dengan warga-warganya, tanggung jawabnya ya besar, terus aktif lah ke masyarakatnya.
Siap. Itu saat jadi petugas KPP sendiri pernah mengeluh sakit atau apa?
Lagi sakit. Lagi sakit, terus dianya gimana ya Pak? Gara-gara tanggung jawab kan, jadi sebagai ketua, jadi mau gimana lagi dia ke pos, terus balik lagi ke rumah buat istirahat, terus sampai beres.
Meanwhile, hundreds of officials have been hospitalized in North Sumatra as well, with 2 deaths in Medan and Langkat Regency. As of February the 16th, 266 officials are still receiving treatment. They are suffering from various conditions, including difficulty breathing, hypertension, and stomach problems.
Di mana beberapa penyakit bagi petugas kita ini ya, yang pasti kebanyakan adalah kelelahan dan juga ada juga hipertensi ya, dan juga ada juga dispepsia ataupun dengan sakit perut, di mana kita ketahui kelelahan dari tengah malam penghitungan angka jumlah pemilih kita ini kan, jadi mungkin sakit perut dikarenakan mungkin kelelahan, makan tidak teratur sehingga mereka menjadi lemah dan dilarikan ke rumah sakit. Nah, juga beberapa yang paling banyak di sini adalah hipertensi ya, karena kita lihat juga jam mereka yang memang benar-benar dari pagi sampai malam yang tidak tidur, sehingga yang hipertensi dan sakit kepala. Jadi itulah beberapa penyakit yang banyak terjadi pada petugas kita di KPPS, KPU dan juga Bawaslu.
Their treatment has also been paid for by provincial and city governments.
It has been 4 days since Indonesia undertook its general elections, and the General Elections Commission is still counting the votes. So we're now connected with Satya Pramesi and Reza Anindita for updates on the counting process. So, Messi, we have seen the quick count results. We are now still awaiting the real count. What are the updates so far?
Hi, Sarah. I know it's a Sunday morning, so I do apologize, but I am going to be spitting out quite a lot of numbers this morning because I have the general elections real count data as of the 17th of February. Specifically from 1930 last night, because as of now, the KPU has not yet provided new updates or its newest updates or any newer updates regarding the real count numbers that they currently have. So in the presidential race, a total of 85 million votes have been counted, originating from 548,000 voting stations across Indonesia, where Prabowo Gibran is leading the presidential race with 49 million votes, which is equal to 57.95% of the total popular vote. Meanwhile, Anies Baswedan and Cak Imin, the presidential candidate pair on ballot box number 1, is currently second with 21 million votes and is equal to 24.48% of the total votes that anyone can get in the presidential election. Ganjar Mahfud is third. The presidential candidate pair of Ganjar Pranowo and Mahfud MD is currently third with 15 million votes and is equal to 17.57%. But presidential race isn't all, because as we know, our parliament also just had a vote for the representatives from this year to lead on to 2029 as well. So in the parliamentary race, 59 or 53 million votes, I should say, have been counted, originating from 422,000 voting stations across the country. Now, PDIP, the Indonesian Democratic Party of Struggle, is currently in the lead at 8.9 million votes, which is 16.43%, I should say, of the total votes available to the parliamentary parties. Meanwhile, Golkar is in second at 7.9 million votes, or 14.64%. And Gerindra, the party of presidential candidate number 2, Prabowo Subianto, is in third at 6.9 million votes, or 12.71% of total. PKB is fourth at 6 million votes, 10.99%. Nasdem, the party that supported presidential candidate number 1, Anies Baswedan, is in fifth, 4.9 million votes at 9.04%. PKS is at 6th place with 4.08 million votes, equal to 7.49%. And Partai Demokrat is at 7th at 4.04 million votes at 7.41%. And the final two parties which are currently eligible, according to the current real count results, are eligible to actually enter parliament is PAN at 8th at 3.7 million votes, or 6.83%, and P3, which is currently 9th at 2.2 million votes and 4.15%. Now, I mentioned that those are the parties that are eligible to actually enter parliament because, as you know, Sarah, we have a parliamentary threshold of 4%. And so these parties that have run for parliament at their current state are not able to enter because they are currently below 4%. They are Partai Buruh, Partai Gelora, PKN, Hanura, Partai Garuda, PBB, Partai Solidaritas Indonesia or PSI, Perindo, and Umat, because all of them are currently at 4%. And so that is all you need to know about the current real count, but we'll continue to give you more updates as they come along throughout the day. Back to you.
Pramesi and Reza Anindita for the live report. And Shirley, thank you for the numbers all this Sunday morning. I believe everyone here will closely monitor the results, especially the real count of the elections. Thank you once again. And now we move on to other news, still regarding our general elections, where authorities face harsh conditions at sea to transport the election logistics to Bakung Serumpun Lingga subdistrict. The 1-hour journey amidst large waves was challenging.
The polling organizers in Bakun Serumpun sub-district had to return the voting boxes via sea transport using a boat. With the police and members of the election watchdog closely supervising, the journey took about an hour from the village of Tanjung Lipat Lingga to the logistic warehouse. However, when sailing with rough waves and strong winds, the team faced difficulty. They used tarps to cover the boxes and hold them tightly to avoid getting wet. Second Inspector Assistant of Lingga District Police, Muhammad Yusuf, affirmed that the general election proceeded smoothly and safely.
Seluruh kawan-kawan yang PAM semangat. Kami dirjai khususnya di Tanjung Lipat mengamankan pemilu 2024 dengan aman dan lancar. Masyarakat juga mendukung penuh dalam pelaksanaan pemilu. Terima kasih.
Meanwhile, in mainland areas like Singkep, during the voting process, police officers and members of the election watchdog helped voters with mobility issue by escorting them from outside the voting booth to the pickup vehicle. Today contributor reporting from Batam, Riau.
Billions were lost following a massive fire that engulfed 3 buildings in Padang on Saturday. 11 fire trucks and 60 firefighters were deployed to contain the blaze in East Padang district. The amount of flammable materials in the buildings complicated the firefighting efforts. Witnesses told authorities that the fire started at a hardware store before spreading to a nearby home and youth center. There are no casualties in the incident, which is now under police investigation.
Objek yang terbakar adalah 1 buah toko cat, ditambah 1 buah balai pemuda, dan 1 petak rumah kontrakan. Sejumlah unit ada 11 unit karena apinya cukup besar dan pemadaman cukup berlangsung lama karena material terbakar adalah material cat atau thinner, jadi agak lama untuk proses pendinginannya. Dugaan belum diketahui ya, cuma dari keterangan masyarakat sumber api itu berasal dari toko bangunan.
Disaster responders have evacuated thousands after flood hit Teluk Naga district of Tangerang Regency yesterday. They include a pregnant woman who was rushed to the hospital on an inflatable raft to give birth.
Disaster responders have moved to evacuate residents in Teluk Naga district, Tangerang Regency, after flood hit the area on Saturday. They include a woman who was about to give birth and had to be rushed to hospital on an inflatable raft. Water levels rose to around 60 centimeters following a downpour that began on Friday. Officials have also deployed a pump to help bring water levels down.
Mengalir di sini kendalanya ini saluran air. Aturan kan dari masyarakat ini kan ke bawah tuh turun. Ya malah dari kali itu ke kampung nanjak. Jadi itunya harus menggunakan pompa.
Cembung
jadi
gitu
setiap ya betul jembung. Jadi setiap mau penyedotan itu harus pakai pompa, menggunakan pompa.
Kalau nggak begitu, Pak?
Kalau nggak begitu nggak bisa. Harus ngeluarin pompa. Baru 1. Itu yang udah ada di sini. Cuman tadi udah informasi ke Pak Lurah, insya Allah mungkin hari ini bisa turun dikirim untuk 1 pompa lagi. Karena kalau menggunakan 1 pompa kayaknya lambat. Iya, kurang.
There are 800 households that have been affected. Some residents remain at their homes, but most have taken refuge elsewhere. Today contributor reporting from Tangerang Regency, Banten.
Medan Zoo has just lost another Sumatran tiger, its 5th in 3 months. The tiger, 13-year-old Bintang Sorik, died last Tuesday from a terminal illness. Mayor Bobi Nasution has spoken on the animal's death, saying that it involved many factors outside the zoo management's shortcomings. He also criticized the zoo for failing to implement a breeding program.
Bisa sama-sama kita lihat semua faktornya, umur, pola pakannya, pola perawatannya. Nah ini juga harus bisa dijadikan salah satu faktor-faktor kenapa penyebab dia mati. Ya itu yang saya bilang, manajemennya. Kan kita sudah sampaikan kemarin, opsi-opsi relokasi juga sudah kita sampaikan. Kemarin saya sampaikan itu akan dibongkar, sudah dimulai. Cuma relokasinya ini, makanya tadi saya bilang nanti kita relokasi di perjalanan, pas relokasi hewannya mati, dibilang nggak ini lagi, makanya kita lihat relokasi kemana, apakah tetap di situ tapi dipindahkan kandangnya, apakah bisa direlokasi, jaraknya berapa jauh maksimal, ini perlu perhitungan, jangan main ini yang penting viral, yang penting ada aksi enggak.
And next, we will be taking a short break, but after the break, Ralphie will return with a recap from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol, menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
The Indonesian State-Owned Enterprises Ministry has underlined its commitment to supporting small and medium enterprises by launching vending machines at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport.
Qatar has advanced to the quarterfinals of the 2023 AFC Asian Cup after defeating Palestine 2-1 in the round of 16 at the Al Ayed Stadium in Al Khor.
So we'll be back with the daily dose of entertainment. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
The China Earthquake Network Center reported that the quake rocked the Erterpen County in Aksu Prefecture shortly after 2 a.m. local time.
Minister January Makamba was a guest in one of our news programs, a 3-hour news show yesterday. While he was in the studio, he used the opportunity to explain the current state of diplomatic ties between Tanzania and Indonesia.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Indonesian Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Bahwa Raspati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on CDJ!
And we have more business updates right here from our nation, where the Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturers, or GAIKINDO, reported that over 1 million vehicles were sold in Indonesia last year.
The Indonesian government has announced plans to allocate around 4.8 billion rupiahs for this year's pre-employment program. Now, the program aims to help boost economic recovery, especially for those affected by COVID-related layoffs.
The Indonesian government is once again providing food aid in the form of rice reserves to support the public amid higher prices of the commodity in the market.
Stok bulog sekarang ini alhamdulillah masih pada posisi yang baik, masih 1,4 juta ton.
China has been racing against time for rescue and disaster relief work after a landslide on Monday struck a mountainous village in southwest China's Yunnan province.
gue yang penting apa yang gue makan bisa gue buang pada saat gue olahraga gitu.
Jadi Adila kalau ketemu mungkin dia ketawa tuh.
Dengan proses, gue bersyukur banget Kubu Junior tuh sempat bubar tahun 2016-2017.
Feelingnya sabu-sabu, karena sabu-sabu kita cuma makannya setahun sekali.
Kalau kita dengerin Spotify ya, Pak gimana sih caranya aku bisa masuk di sini gitu. Ya nggak boleh menghalangi lah.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay aku depotsi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik ya.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain. Welcome back to the C Morning Show. Now it is time for some sports recap in the program. We begin in England, where Mohamed Salah scored and provided an assist on his return from an injury as Liverpool kept their foot on the throttle in their Premier League title race with a 4-1 win at Brentford on Saturday. Darwin Núñez scored with an exquisite chip to open the scoring, bursting through a goal before deftly lifting the ball over a helpless Mark Flecken in the Brentford net. Goals after the break from Alexis McAllister and Salah effectively ended the contest. It is the first time Jurgen Klopp has won away at Brentford. Ivan Toney pulled one back in the 75th minute, bringing home on the rebound after Sergio Reguilón's shot was superbly saved by Kelleher, but it proved little more than consolation as Liverpool ensured there would be no late drama when Gakpo added the fourth in the 86th minute. Now Liverpool stayed on top of the table, then the victory solidifies Liverpool as league leaders with 57 points, and Arsenal are in second place and also Manchester City on third place. Meanwhile, Brentford stayed at 14th with 25 points. Next, to all the Gunners, Arsenal won 5-0 away at Burnley's Turf Moor Stadium in 25th week of the Premier League on Saturday. Playing as the away team, Arsenal were dominant throughout the match, and the Gunners led 2-0 in the first half through Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. Mikel Arteta's team kept on the pressure after the break and extended their lead through Saka, Leandro Trossard, and also Kai Havertz. This victory makes Arsenal move up to the second place in the Premier League standings with 55 points, just 2 points adrift from the leaders Liverpool. Meanwhile, Burnley is stuck in 19th place with only 13 points. Now we move on to Spain, where Jude Bellingham was absent from the main team training for Real Madrid as they prepared for the La Liga match against Rayo Vallecano on Sunday. According to Real Madrid, Bellingham and Antonio Rudiger are still recovering from their injuries. Now Bellingham, one of Madrid's best players this season, sprained his left ankle in the team's 4-0 win over Girona last Saturday. The England international is expected to sideline for 2 to 3 weeks, and Ancelotti had already lost key players even before the season started, with goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois and defender Eder Militao and sustaining left knee ligament injuries. Central defender David Alaba also hurt a knee ligament last year, and most recently, it was Rudiger who depleted the Madrid defense. The club decided not to bring another central defender during the latest transfer window that closed in January, forcing Ancelotti to improvise in the middle of the defense with their midfielder Aurelien Tchouameni or right back Dani Carvajal. Now, Liga Indonesia Baru is planning to introduce a video assistant referee or VAR to the championship series of Liga 1. A trial for the technology took place in Bogor Regency just yesterday. The trial at JSI Resort saw referees testing equipment to review decisions and communicate the results. Testing has been ongoing since the past month. 13 referees and 26 assistants have been picked by Football Federation or PSSI to be assessed by FIFA just this March.
Akan hadir antara tanggal 1 dan tanggal 8 Maret ke sini untuk melihat training terakhir daripada kesiapan di batch 1 ini untuk menentukan trialnya seperti apa, kompetisinya di mana yang akan kita trial, nanti lebih lanjutnya mungkin Liga akan menyampaikan lebih lanjut.
Now to tennis, Iga Swiatek won the WTA 1000 Qatar Open on the third year in a row on Saturday with a hard-fought 7-6, 6-2 win over Elena Rybakina, her 12th consecutive match win at the Doha event.
Iga Swiatek won the WTA 1000 Qatar Open for the third year in a row on Saturday with a hard-fought 7-6, 7-2 win over Elena Rybakina. The Polish top seed and the world number 1 had to call upon all of her grit and resilience in an epic first set that took almost an hour and a half. Swiatek recovered from so many difficult positions, it was hard to keep count. She went a double breakdown and fought back to 5-4 before losing her serve again. Kazakh number 3 seed Rybakina served for the set at 6-5, but Swiatek again stood firm to force a tiebreak. There were no fewer than 11 points against the serve in the breaker, and Swiatek wasted 2 set points before Rybakina squandered on her own at 7-6. Eventually, Swiatek took it by 10 points to 8 on her 4th set point. After saving 2 break points in the second game of the second set, Swiatek broke serve for a 2-1 lead, and when a second break arrived in the 7th game, there was no way back for Rybakina. Swiatek served out to 15 to take the match and the championship after 2 hours and 17 minutes. It was the first title of the year for Swiatek and the 18th of her career.
Now we are set for another break, but when we return, the last segment just for you. Entertainment here on the C Morning Show on C Today.
And we have more business updates right here from our nation, where the Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturers, or GAIKINDO, reported that over 1 million vehicles were sold in Indonesia last year.
The Indonesian government has announced plans to allocate around 4.8 billion rupiahs for this year's pre-employment program. Now, the program aims to help boost economic recovery, especially for those affected by COVID-related layoffs.
The Indonesian government is once again providing food aid in the form of rice reserves to support the public amid higher prices of the commodity in the market.
Stok bulog sekarang ini alhamdulillah masih pada posisi yang baik, masih 1,4 juta ton.
China has been racing against time for rescue and disaster relief work after a landslide on Monday struck a mountainous village in southwest China's Yunnan province.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depot sih.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik ya.
Aduh ya Allah. Baru kali ini.
nih.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
Gue yang penting apa yang gue makan bisa gue buang pada saat gue olahraga gitu.
Jadi ambillah kalau ketemu mungkin dia ketawa gitu.
Dengan proses, gue bersyukur banget Kubu Junior tuh sempat bubar tahun 2016-2017.
Feelingnya sabu-sabu, karena sabu-sabu kita cuma makannya setahun sekali.
Kalau kita dengerin Spotify ya, Pak gimana sih caranya aku bisa masuk di sini gitu. Ya nggak boleh menghalangi lah.
Kalau ini kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 keranjang.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depot sih.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
The Indonesian State-Owned Enterprises Ministry has underlined its commitment to supporting small and medium enterprises by launching vending machines at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport.
Qatar has advanced to the quarterfinals of the 2023 AFC Asian Cup after defeating Palestine 2-1 in the round of 16 at the Al Ayed Stadium in Al Khor.
So we'll be back with the Daily Does Up Entertainment. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Bahwa Raspati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on Indonesia!
Teman bicara Maman adalah ruang tanpa sekat.
Teman tuli gini, Winda, kamu S1-nya psikologi ya? Iya. Saya mau curhat gitu. Gelar dokter penari itu langka.
Hanya 7 orang?
Saya.
Dirimu yang ke-7?
Ke-7, ya. Kalau saya observatif langsung menjadi ronggengnya.
Hai anak kecil, aku sudah bertahun-tahun berada di dalam botol ini.
Lock and hit tadi itu, di bagian hitnya saya coba manajemen menjadi knowledge. Justru yang love saya simpan sendiri. All right, guys, welcome back to the C Morning Show right here on C Today. Okay, so it's our last segment. We are just going to jump into it. Madame Web star Dakota Johnson has revealed some drastic changes to the film itself, which dropped on February the 14th.
The 34-year-old actress explained how the script was altered completely once she had signed up for the flick. Johnson's alter ego, Cassie Webb, is a New York City paramedic who developed psychic abilities. The role provided her a chance to perform stunt driving, something she was excited to do.
The character's ability to see the future spelled an increased workload for Johnson as she needed to film several versions of the same scene. That included so many different camera setups, tripling the amount of work. The 50 Shades of Grey explained that she often found it challenging to keep up with what she had to do, be shooting, and had to rely on director S.J. Clarkson to bail her out.
New York City is a whole new level of crazy these days.
He's trying to change what happens.
Now, this Sunday, this year's edition of the Britain's most prestigious film celebration, the BAFTA Awards, will take place at London's Royal Festival Hall.
Featuring a new host, 2 special live musical performances, and also a star-studded red carpet brimming with celebrities, the 2024 BAFTA Awards promises a night filled with glamour and also surprises.
Yes, and Prince William has also been confirmed to be attending, along with names like Cillian Murphy, Christopher Nolan, and Margot Robbie.
A total of 38 films are vying for awards, with Christopher Nolan's sweeping biopic of chronicling the life of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the creator of the atomic bomb, leading the nomination with 13 nods.
The public can also access this event on BBC One and iPlayer and on BritBox in North America.
So let's turn back time to the day when Oppenheimer and Barbie was released on the same day, just because we are wearing pink today.
Yes.
So that reminds me
and
of
you're wearing black. It reminds everyone for Oppenheimer. There you go.
That's right. That's probably right. Yeah. Did you watch the 2 movies?
Yes, I did. And of course, can we remember all the memes and all those mashup posters on that day? Yes, Barbenheimer.
That's the term for it?
Yes, and then both are, empowering in some ways.
But 180 degrees. Right?
Absolutely. What about you, Rahma?
No, if you're talking about the movies, no, I did not watch. Even Barbie, I did not watch because I was still doing schooling at that time.
I remember that time when Rama was so busy with the school and classes.
Yeah.
But
graduated already.
But since it's the weekend and it's also on the awards, is it on your to-watch list?
I need to catch up so many movies, Sarah. Seriously, right? So I've got this whole list. Like Hans is keeping on giving
adding more and more,
right? So it keeps on piling up.
Yeah.
So again, okay, this would be another movie that I need to watch. Okay, so I'll put it in the list already. Thank you very much, guys.
Barbenheimer.
So, but what about you? Your personal note, Ralphie?
So at that time, I was not in my best self, so I didn't watch Oppenheimer.
Right.
But you did watch Barbie.
I did watch Barbie.
Wow.
It's colorful. But Oppenheimer seems, it's a historical movie.
Right.
It's based on true events. So I was not ready to watch it at the moment, but I'm ready to watch it right now.
Okay, so true events or true stories will be a checklist also for me, because I love how they can actually overcome what did they do, so we can learn at that time also, right?
Absolutely. And now we have spoken about the movies. Now it's time for music updates, where Indonesian singer Ziva Magnolia has recently released her new single titled Wanita Biasa. So let's take a look.
Sadarkah dirimu selama ini berjanji.
Ziva Magnolia released another heartbreak anthem with the new song Wanita Biasa.
Ingatkah dirimu akan semua cara.
The pop ballad delves into the aftermath of breakup, with Ziva's powerful vocals narrating the journey of heartbreak and her healing efforts. In the song, Ziva Magnolia described herself as an ordinary woman who also has a limit to her passions. Although she always forgives her partner's mistakes, she also feels tired and chooses to leave. Wanita Biasa is now available on every digital music platform under Universal Music Indonesia.
All right, so moving on, guys. Now, Indonesian rock legend God Bless has turned 50. So the band held a... Are you a fan?
Oh, well, who's not a fan of God Bless?
There you go.
Everyone is a fan of God Bless.
So the band held a retrospective exhibition just yesterday to mark the milestone showcasing let me do that again. Showcasing photos and also collections of the vintage albums.
Celebrating 50th anniversary of the legendary rock band God Bless, the band is hosting a retrospective exhibition at Galeri Nasional, Jakarta. So this band has been one of the pioneers to the Indonesian rock development, and it has inspired so many artists in many generations. So the band is hosting this exhibition showcasing some of their finest works through the cassette, CDs, the vinyl, and many more. They also showcase their awards and the printed magazine. So here, the visitors could have an interactive experience where they can use these headphones to listen to some of the finest work of God Bless. And to know more about the process of songwriting as well as the history of God Bless itself, here is a statement by one of the God Bless member, Ian Antono.
Mungkin baru pertama kali grup Indonesia yang dibuatkan kayak begini. Jadi banyak yang ditampilkan itu kayak misalnya dari alat yang kita pakai dari zaman rekaman dulu. Terus baju-baju di mana Goddess Live pertama itu di Taman Ismail Marzuki juga ada di sini. Mungkin dari album yang paling bagus yang saya pernah bikin itu album yang terakhir antologi. Di mana prosesnya itu lama banget. Jadi kalau kita dulu rekaman itu 3 bulan, 2 bulan udah kelar. Kalau ini memakan waktu 1 tahun. Jadi mulai pemilihan lagu sampai aransemen musik yang direkam di Praha sana sampai mastering di Australia, ini album yang paling bagus menurut saya.
Throughout half a century, God Bless has been maintaining the spirit of the rock music in Indonesia, and the band itself has won so many different awards throughout the years, including this award right here, which was presented by President of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, for 48 years of God Bless work in 2021. So if you're interested to come see for yourself the history, the process, and the work of the pioneer to Indonesian rock band God Bless, you can come to Galeri Nasional starting from February 16 up until March 1st. Maudi Kalisha and Anita Putri for See Today.
And all right, that wraps it up. It is 9 a.m. and that does it for today's episode of the C Morning Show on See Today. It's always a pleasure to bring you your morning news, and be sure to always follow our social media through Instagram, X, and also YouTube at See Today News. It's all down here.
And See Today News can also be enjoyed in Australia on Foxtel's Flash app or in Macau Cable TV channel 84. Or if you are in the Philippines, you can also watch the Converge Vision channel 58 and Singtel Singapore channel 15 and StarHub channel 720.
Of course, and for Telkomsel users, you can also catch the See Today on the Max Stream and also My Telkomsel app. So don't forget to also tune in again tomorrow, same time, same channel. And also be sure to also catch our afternoon show every single day at 5 p.m. in Rocklanding.
I'm Sarah Wayne.
And I'm Lalfi Nasution. Would like to say,
see Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Bye, guys.
Happy Sunday.
Hello guys, back again with me, Chef Rehan, only on Satisfactory, Cook Healthy and Cook Happy. In this episode, I'm gonna combine it with some Western cuisine and some Eastern cuisine. So it's called Mediterranean Pita Pizza. So, the ingredients, we have some pita bread in here. For the classic Eastern cuisine, we added some olive oil. And the protein, we need some beef. This is a grind beef. We added some spinach and lettuce. For the seasoning, we have some salt. For the flavor and the color, we added some paprika powder. And this is heavy cream, pepper, and this one, cumin. The last one is unsalted butter. Okay, first I'm gonna make the topping for the pita pizza. We're using some onion. Right, we prepare for the pan. All right, next step, I'm gonna add it about 15 grams of butter. Okay. As you can hear, the butter start to sizzling. Then we just put it, onion, into butter. Right, next I'm added about 500 grams of meat, grind meat, adding some salt. It's about 5 grams of salt, and then pepper, 3 grams of pepper, and the cumin, just a little bit, 3 grams of the cumin. Okay, we just mix it up all together. Okay, next part, I'm gonna add it paprika powder, adding some color. It's about 6 grams paprika powder. Next, we have some spinach in here. I'm gonna slice it, the spinach. Okay, about 5 grams of spinach. Put it into a pan and cook it together. All right, add it a little bit more Eastern taste. We put it a 10 milliliter of olive oil into the pan. You can smell the aroma is like really rich of spice. Give it a try. Perfect. Right, turn low the heat. Add it a little bit, half a teaspoon of butter to make it more creamy. Then it's ready, put it aside. Next, I'm gonna cook the pita bread. So for the pita bread, you just need to put a little bit amount of olive oil into each side of it, and then you need to smack it first. Just like that for the pizza. Then with the medium heat, you just need to cook it. Then add it half of teaspoon of butter, or about 5 grams of unsalted butter, and then we just toast it a little bit. Give it a flip until it's like golden brown color like this, and then it's ready. Alright guys, the last pita bread, it's almost done. Okay. Turn off the heat. And now, let's go plating it. Add it a little bit of lettuce for the extra freshness in the dish. Do it here, and the pita bread here. Then we add it to protein, beef, with right into the center. Then if you have some yogurt, I have some yogurt in here, you can also add it into the center to extra acidity, like that. And the last touch, I'm gonna put a drizzle of olive oil here. Yes, and it's done. This is it. This is some Mediterranean pita pizza. Let's go, guys. Without waiting any longer, let's give it a try. Just like that. Look at that. Cheers. The spice is really mixed well. A little bit of the smokiness from the paprika powder and also the cumin. It makes this food is really, really good to try at home. All right. This is the first menu in this episode. Don't go anywhere because I'm gonna make some special things next, all right? So stay with me, Chef Rehan, only on Satisfactory, Cook Healthy and Cook Happy.
The Indonesian State-Owned Enterprises Ministry has underlined its commitment to supporting small and medium enterprises by launching vending machines at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport.
Qatar has advanced to the quarterfinals of the 2023 AFC Asian Cup after defeating Palestine 2-1 in the round of 16 at the Al Ayed Stadium in Al Khor.
So we'll be back with the daily dose of entertainment. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lake Toba, the largest volcanic lake in the world and homeland to the proud Batak people of North Sumatra.
Boras Pati, bahwa orang Batak itu bisa hidup di mana-mana.
Yeah, wouldn't mind having that in my wedding. This is some good stuff.
Come to the beauty, only on Indonesia!
Hello guys, back again with me, Chef Rehan, only on Satisfactory, Cook Healthy and Cook Happy. And for the second dish in this episode, I'm gonna make based on this beautiful paprika. And the dish, I'm call it stuffed baked pepper. The ingredients, we have some corn in here, and then paprika powder, cumin, and then unsalted butter, and then we have some cheddar cheese to add more creaminess, and then the onion, ground beef, some salt and also olive oil, and the last one is pepper. Right, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna preheat the oven about 200 Celsius up and down, then about 40 minutes. First I'm gonna cut an onion. Now, prepare pan, turn off the heat, let it heat, add it about 30 grams of butter. Okay, the butter start to sizzling and then we just put it right away into the pan. Mix the butter with the onion. Just mix it up a little bit. I want to be the onion is crunchy. We don't need to wait any longer, and then we just put it about 500 grams of meat. Then some salt. Okay, 5 grams of salt. 5 grams of pepper, 8 grams of cumin. We need a lot more of the cumin for extra spicy. And then for the color and also added smoky taste, we added about 8 grams of paprika powder. Right, then we just cook it right away. Okay guys, beef stuff is almost done. Turn it off. And then we added some corn for extra sweetness and texture. Okay, we needed a little bit of chill it down the heat from the stuff, and then we move forward to the pepper. For the pepper, I'm just added about 15 milliliter of olive oil into the pepper. It's about 4 teaspoons. That, and we put the stuff into pepper or paprika. Just like that. Add it a shredded cheddar cheese. Ooh, it will be nice. And then I look at the oven is turning hot. Okay, and then I'm gonna put pepper into a tray. That, and then we put it into the oven. Okay, so that. Right, guys, and then we just wait about 15 minutes. Right, guys, after waiting about 15 minutes, I think the stuffed baked paprika, it's done. Let's go give it a check. Okay, just put it paprika in here. You can also see that. That. Put it aside in here first. Right, now I'm gonna plating it. So we just put paprika in here. And then we added more of the olive oil to extra flavor. There. And it's done. This is stuffed baked pepper. Okay, guys, this is it. And now I'm gonna take a bite of this beautiful stuffed baked pepper. Oof, look at that. Add it a little bit of olive oil. Yes. And cheers. The pepper tastes like a smoky, a little bit crunchy, and then added more sweetness from the stuff, and then also the crunchiness is still making the dish is really perfect to make it at home. All right. Okay, so this is some of the idea for making a dish. You can also change it with some pumpkin on it, or maybe some tomato. You bake it. It's also a really nice too. Okay, I hope you can make it at home. It's really simple and really easy to make. All right, see you on the next menu. Stay with me, Chef Rehan, only on Satisfactory. Cook healthy and cook happy.
Kalau Imlek kan kita memanggil orang tua kita. Dia pakainya dari awal sampai ke ujung pakai keranjang.
Nah, kue keranjang itu melambangkan rezeki yang bertumpuk.
2, 4 itu untuk orang yang masih hidup. Kalau untuk 3 itu untuk leluhur. Satu malam bisa 400 kilo, kurang lebih 800 keranjang.